Live from the Shadow Realm, it's Super Gamekast 2. What's up?
Jesus Christ. What's up, you guys? I did the very responsible thing of keeping our stream audio on. Wow. So I got a nice, fantastic echo for Shadow Realm.
So it's almost like you were actually there.
It's almost like you were in the YuGiOh anime.
Oh no. Please no. God.
You have to play a children's card game to save your life.
I'm not a guy. I'm a dinosaur. Fucking. Hey everyone, welcome to Super Gamecast 2. This is where we talk video games and other stuff, I guess. Whatever.
Hey, guess what?
My name's Aaron. This is Bronson here.
Hi, and I'm joined by the lovely mod mommy, Emily Holslander. And we don't have a special thing for him yet, but we're thinking of it. Jesse Pewitt.
Well, it'll come. It'll come.
It'll come. It takes time.
Exactly. All right, so, hey guys, we're doing a new thing this week. Because...
New things? I don't like new things.
That's okay. Neither do I. But
Really? Don't like new things. I call bullshit.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, so we're doing a new thing this week for the
Yay.
year. You can keep track on. We'll post the link to keep track of it, and we'll update this weekly on how things are doing. But it's called Fantasy Critic Games, and what it is very similar to fantasy football. We go in order, picking different games this year, and depending on how they review, you get a certain amount of points. At the end of the year, whoever had the most points wins. Now, there's a little bit of a catch to it, which the catch is the fact that if a game doesn't come out, that's 0 points.
Right.
Okay, so that's a little bit of the thing there. So you're not only trying to pick, you're also not only trying to pick what is going to review the best, but also what is actually going to come out, which in this time of plague is very hard.
God, this is gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, so if you make that Breath of the Wild 2 commitment, you better fucking hope it's gonna come out.
Come out.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah. As far as I know, it's snake order for the draft. And, yeah, okay.
So how do we start this?
I press a button that says start drafting, and then it should be good to go.
Okay.
Alright, so let's see how that works. You no longer add or remove players' draft order is locked. However, if you need to, you can reset the draft by pressing reset draft lane. He'll let you change players and settings. Okay. Great.
All right.
Hold on. Alright, the draft is currently prized. It is your turn to draft under the draft game tab. Where's the draft game tab?
I'm gonna refresh. Draft is currently in progress. Okay.
Where?
It's fine. Everything is fine.
Oh god.
Draft game for next player. Okay, hold on.
It seems like a very new thing. It's like one person with some help from a few other people. So I can.
Okay, yeah, I found draft. It's player action on the left side. Okay, so.
Player actions.
All right. Show top games available. I'm going to select Elden Ring because that is a gimme. That is next week.
Motherfucking fucker.
I'm just gonna take that off of my
Hey Bronson, how was this ordered?
How
How did you order this snake
Uh,
draft?
whoever signed up first.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Oh, interesting.
if you want me to be nice, I had a backup plan. So
I don't need pity. Go ahead and take your Elden Ring.
because my next pick was Horizon. So all right, the next player is up. Who is it?
Ooh, I got an audio thing. It is your turn to
that's
draft. Draft game. Okay, so
All right, so hold on. We have the publisher names, by the way, up here. I am Sex Panther Games, keeping with my fantasy football tradition. Aaron is Only Good Games. Jesse, Bottom of the Barrel Games. And Emily, Wishful Thinking Games. Like, Emily sounds like Emily's one sounds like an indie studio that only makes like really arty, classy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Aaron, you just sound like somebody from the FGC wanted to make like Windjammers 3 real bad.
We're already working on it.
I sound like
Already on that.
I sound like Rockstar like. And like Jesse, yours like sounds like some dude like Toys for Bob, like someone who just makes platformers. Alright.
Oh, this is tough. There's one I want to pick, but it is okay. So one thing we should also say: this is also based on what they score from critics.
Yes, this is the
This is
Metacritic.
not about selling.
This is not about sales. This game could fucking like if I was going sales, I would have been like, I probably would have gone like God of War. Like,
Right.
You know.
But here's the thing about what's going on right now is it's difficult to know what's going to release this year.
Yeah, no.
It's so difficult.
So it makes it hard.
It makes it really hard. Specifically right now, this is just it's a minefield.
Well, so because we plan the podcast well in advance, we have the games list that are like guaranteed for the first half of the year. Now there are some rules to this: no yearly releases, no re-releases, or like no re-releases, and no games that are already out in like other countries. So, like for example, if I wanted to pick Lost Ark, I couldn't.
Like, do you set that in the?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Because there was no way I was going to keep track of all this while we were.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So if sports games were still good, you couldn't have picked one.
Right. Exactly.
So.
All right. I am looking through this list. It's hard to. Is there, Bronson? While everyone else is picking, is there a button on the side that shows like the games available so that people can see that?
Yeah, if you hit the draft game button right below that, it would be.
Oh no! I'm good. I'm selecting right now. I'm saying for the stream, if you could open that up.
Publisher details, move game, watch lists, show top games.
Well, there's your current. Oh,
Yeah.
you didn't set a watch list. Okay, there you go. Top available games. There you go.
Yep.
All right. So I'm looking through myself.
Are you going to go big or go home with the Breath of the Wild 2?
No, I am not. Not with my first pick, anyway.
That's like the boom or bust prospect. Like if it comes out,
Hell.
you're like guaranteed like a 90 at minimum.
Yeah.
But
and
like,
then there's this issue of like, there are only like one or two running backs, and you want to jump on your quarterback like at some point. But like there's definitely some like wide, for people who understand their football fantasy, like wide receivers, there are many of them. So when is a good time to select that? Do you go early because they're going to be good? Do you think people will jump on that? Do you think they'll let that go because there are actually a lot of games that could potentially be that? What do people have their eye on? What are people avoiding? It's what makes fantasy so much fun.
yes, and now they're applying it to video games.
Oh God! And they picked the worst goddamn time. This is also a good way of just looking at like, hey, what's coming out?
Yeah, like
Remember that Evil Dead game? I totally forgot about that. Yeah, just got delayed, yeah. Oh man. And then there's some that are like, this is a big game. I don't know if it's gonna review well.
right. Like I'm looking at like Starfield, and I'm like, that like just.
I had that thought. Like, is that coming out this year? Like they set a date. And that's a good date for them, but really?
Yeah, they've committed to a date. Like the thing, and that thing has been in like development for years and years and years. It's just like,
Sounds familiar.
Do we want
been in development for years during a time of great turmoil?
Yes.
Let's say.
Yes.
I'm glad that there's no timer.
The timer is the fact that we have shit to do today at some point.
We have shit to do. How many picks do we get?
I want to say it's 7 or 8.
7 or 8. Okay.
And then you can assign 2 free agents once we're all done. So.
Okay, starting back. I'm going by release date. Well, then hype factor. What are we using for hype factor? How does that?
Like how they think it is going to score and how people are stoked for it.
Are they taking that based on like other people picking?
Yeah, I believe.
This
Yeah,
website.
yeah, I think so.
That
So.
makes sense. Oh boy, there are some.
So what's your thought, Do you at least have a couple in your mind right now?
I mean, I have a watch list that I assembled. My first was obviously taken because I can't imagine that was anyone's not first.
Oh, I almost went Breath of the Wild too. I almost was just like,
Dude, really though?
No whammies.
Man, we'll talk about
big bucks or whammies. Big bucks or whammies.
We'll talk about that later. I just any game where it says release date 2022,
You're just scared of.
I don't feel good. That includes Breath of the Wild 2. That includes God of War Ragnarok.
Let's go to the next page. What do we got here?
Also includes Bayonetta 3.
Includes Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, that's a terrifying prospect.
Right. That could very likely review well, but it could also very likely be a 2023 game.
Yeah. Now the good news is that you can drop games to sign other games if they get delayed. However, you only have a certain amount of money to do that.
Right, because there's also a budget that we have.
Yeah. So.
But so here's the other thing that I'm thinking about is games like Forspoken. We don't know. This game is hyped.
Yeah.
I believe that Gary Whitta, writer of Star Wars Rogue One, helped write this game. It's a PS5, I think, like a exclusive, and they're pushing big on it. I don't know if that's gonna review well.
No, I don't think it will. In all honesty, looking at it, but
yeah,
I could be wrong.
It looks all right. And then there's like Ghostwire Tokyo. That's been a hyped game for a long time.
Yep.
It's gonna review well.
Dying Light 2 is out in 4 days.
Yes.
So.
And again, you have to factor in like this may not review. I have a feeling that Dying Light 2 is going to sell well. I think it'll probably get a middling review score. Is my guess. It'll be 7 or 8. I don't think it's going to push 9.
Okay.
And so that's my guess. Again, as someone who doesn't know anything about Dying Light, so Dying Light fans don't
the first one I remember reviewed fairly well.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me open up another browser tab here.
I like to have listed here Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order sequel to be announced. I don't know.
If you want to make that bet.
You pick this one. Good luck.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna go top available games. Let's go hype factor sorting.
And that's a 74, so you would get points at least.
Yeah.
Definitely
get points. All right, so I need to make a pick so that we can move on. We can have more of these conversations as we go around. The question is, do I take a chance? All right.
What are we going with? What are you going with?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna take the other front runner because I'm just
Horizon. So safe. That's safe money. That first one reviewed
Safe,
well.
Yeah.
I need to. My first pick needs to be safe money.
Yeah, you want a good base. All right, make the pick.
The pick has been made.
Oh shit! Okay, I need to refresh the page then. Hold on.
Yeah, unfortunately, you have to refresh the page. It seems
every pick. Okay, there we go. All right, now we're at bottom of the barrel games. All right, we got Elden. Oh, hold on. Sorry, there we go. There we go.
Probably get a PS5 at some point. I don't know.
It's a good system.
A little helpful.
It's a good system.
Yeah.
It has definitely been fun to play Uncharted this week.
Yeah. Working Fridays again. I also was testing out my 4K TV because I hadn't done it in a while, and I pulled up some 4K gameplay of Miles Morales, and
yeah.
Pretty game.
Yeah.
Pretty game.
Yeah.
All right, so
Very pretty game. That's what I was saying to you last night.
Yeah.
So, well, what is
All right, Bottom Barrel, what are you thinking?
So I don't want to go too deep into my thought process here about which game I'm gonna pick because that could tip you guys off to other games that I've got
Oh, okay.
lined up here.
He's laying down his trap card.
Someone has strategy here. I should have come up with a strategy.
Son of a bitch.
Strategy.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna shoot for the moon here. I'm gonna pick Breath of the Wild too.
Ooh, he's going big.
All right.
He's going big, boy.
That's
Big
good.
bucks, baby.
If
Big
it
bucks.
does, here's the thing. If it does come out, that's like guaranteed, like a 95, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
Absolutely.
that's the thought there. All right, wishful thinking games. So what you taking?
I'm not gonna go too far into my thought process either. But-
Everyone's playing chess except Aaron and I, who are playing checkers.
Yeah, exactly.
So I am gonna go a little bit into my roots as far as gaming is concerned, and my first pick, Gran Turismo 7.
GT7, okay.
All right.
GT7.
That is
That's
a good
It's one of the
choice.
first racers that I played as a kid, and
you're guaranteed at least like a 75 and up.
Exactly.
Like if not a 80 and up.
Right.
at least an 80.
Yeah. So all right, well, make the pick and then we can move on.
All right. There we go.
All
Bronson.
right.
Or is it Snake?
It's Snake, so he gets another one, or she should.
Wow. Emily, go.
Oh shit!
You got
I
it.
did not.
Um,
I did not expect to.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
Snake order. So.
Snake order.
Again, going into my roots.
Mm-hmm.
With Kirby.
Wow.
Dun,
Oh,
dun,
yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Fuck,
Like
that was a
after
good
seeing
one.
that trailer,
Yep.
I think it was what was it, E3 or was it Game Awards last year?
I think it was Game
I think it
Awards.
was E3.
Was it Game Awards?
I'm not sure. Anyway, go on though. You saw the trailer.
I saw the trailer and I was just like, yeah, this is my kind of Kirby game.
That looks like
I'm
that's
fine with it.
yeah. That's the
I'm
most
vibing.
interested I've ever been in a Kirby game was when I saw that trailer. So,
I
Yes.
haven't been interested in a Kirby game since like N64 days.
Kirby's Air Ride.
I
I don't
like the one that was on. I like the first Switch one. It was pretty good. Star
was it Epic?
Allies, I think it's called.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
All right.
like that one.
All right. So I believe that means
Jesse.
Jesse's up next.
Yeah, see?
Is he gonna gamble
Yeah, we're-
again?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go for another big hitter,
Alright.
and if it comes out this year, it'll pay off. And if it doesn't, I'm out of luck.
Mm.
We're gonna pick God of War.
Ah,
Oh,
motherfucker.
man. All
That's
right.
where I was going next.
All right.
All right. All right. Aaron, what's up?
Oh, what is up? Yeah.
I also got the projections turned on now, so you can. So we got what they think the totals are going to be.
Nice.
Uh,
In fact, I want to take a look at projections myself. You guys looking at? All right. Okay.
Jesse is currently the highest.
Yeah. No kidding.
Oh my god.
No kidding.
I just gotta hope these games come out. That's all.
Yeah, like he just has to be like just he's letting the money
Brave
ride.
whatever God you believe in.
Picking Final Fantasy 16 next. We're going all in.
Put it all on black, baby.
Oh, God damn it. Looking at this list. Interesting seeing the hype factor. Just it's a small pool of gamers that are part of fantasycritic.games. But it's kind of telling too. I think I'm gonna stick to the first page here.
Okay.
You know what? Let's I'm
Let's go
gonna
nuts.
bet. I know this is dangerous. This is a bad thing to do. I'm gonna do it anyway.
All right.
I'm selecting Starfield.
Motherfucker! God damn it!
Bitch.
I'm very worried about this game, but
Okay. So I have 2 games in my mind right now for my pick.
okay.
So yeah, I have two games that are in my mind. One of them has a release date. One of them doesn't.
All right.
Both of their previous games reviewed well. They're both sequels. It's just, do I want to go for the game that like appealed to me most and like has crazy review scores, the one that has really good review scores and a set date? This is the question. Oh.
Embrace it. Embrace it. Just do it.
Oh, what's up? Deborah 2019, thank you for the follow.
Thank you very much. You're having
Um,
fun.
yeah, hope you enjoying this train wreck.
God. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to be more neutral this time around, but if we do this next year, I may just like pick favorite games just for fun. We'll see how this goes.
Just for funsies.
For funsies.
You know what? I'm gonna take the guaranteed money here, and we're gonna go Cuphead, the delicious last course.
Yeah,
Nice.
you are.
Yep.
Yeah, you are.
Nice.
I gotta take the and oh, am I next again?
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, you
Snake.
are.
Yeah.
Remember?
Okay, great. Then that means I can get the other game I was looking at, which Bayonetta 2 is one of my favorite games of all time,
Uh-huh.
and it reviewed exceptionally well. So we're gonna do that for Bayonetta 3.
All right.
Start
Yes.
praying to your gods.
Let's hope it comes out, actually.
That's probably real good points as long as it comes out.
Yeah. Cuphead has a date. It's locked in.
Yep.
It's been in development forever. We're good. Bayonetta is scary. But yes, hi, Deborah. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna look at release. No, I shouldn't look at release date. None of this is.
All
all right.
Go ahead.
Take a look. I'm taking a look through here.
I mean, if you're betting on like the next month, there is still some good shit to bet on.
There is.
In fact, the
There
next
is,
like
but
3 months.
You really have to think about the whole year, though.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, you have a bet all the way in November.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. No, I'm going for the Hail Mary at the end.
For that holiday season.
Like everything on my stuff is like the beginning of the year. You're welcome, Deborah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually Deborah.
Deborah. Sorry, I don't know. Dragon Ball's always on my mind.
Deborah.
Dragon Ball's always on my mind, baby. You know it.
And the thing we have to remember about this is, despite hype factor, this is about review scores.
This is
And that's what it's all about.
because personally, Bayonetta 2. If this was like how good I personally think it's gonna be, Bayonetta 2 would have been my first pick.
Right. Yeah. Going through the list. That game is unannounced. I love that they put games here that are unannounced.
Right, like if you really want to bet the farm.
You want to be crazy? We let you do that. You want to bet on Metroid Prime 4? Go for it.
I mean, that's been announced at least.
That's not on my list or anything. I don't
Splatoon 3. That's
It is on my list. Splatoon 3 is one of my most hyped. I'm very excited for Splatoon 3. I'm going to play the hell out of that game. But I am also not anticipating a perfect 10.
I mean, like, those games still scored well. They scored in like the 80s, right?
Oh yeah, no, they scored well. Like Splatoon 3 is going to get picked up by someone today. At least I would think so. But we're going for the big scores, baby. Ooh. I have to like anticipate what you guys would think as well, so I can get out ahead of you.
If anyone is thinking what I'm thinking right now, then I will yell mother effer if you draft what I want to do next.
I'm gonna let that one go for just a little longer, see if it survives.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. This is a weird one, but I think it's an all right pick. I'm going Lego Star Wars.
Ooh,
yeah.
that's
Skywalker
Yeah.
Saga.
That's a good pick.
that's another boom or bust prospect.
Those games are. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Yeah, review scores, I don't know. They just have a reputation about them, and that reputation is only getting better. And this is all of Star Wars put together.
True, fair, true, very
So,
true.
Yeah.
That is true fact. Oh, sorry. Sorry, everybody. Go on.
I believe it is Jesse's turn.
Yeah,
Jesse.
and I've already told you what I'm going to pick. Reasoning, though, this game has been in development for years.
Mm-hmm.
The main scenario is complete. All of the English voiceovers are complete.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Chances are that it's gonna get a mid-year 2022 release, and we're gonna see a trailer for it with the release date at this upcoming Sony Experience,
All
PlayStation
right.
That's
Experience Conference.
happening.
All right.
So, I'm gonna pick Final Fantasy 16.
Dude, you're in Vegas.
Are you really?
He's in fucking Vegas, is what he is right now.
Shit.
He's just like put it all
Why,
on black.
Why?
Just
I can see the logic that we have been in this pandemic for 2 years, and like at this point, maybe certain studios have figured out how to do this, but that's a
Going in,
bet with
going in.
multiple studios. Who knows? All right.
Oh,
And I
my God.
think it'll review really well, because Yoshi P is the director.
Yep.
And so, Final Fantasy 14 has been on this constant rise for every expansion. I think this is going to be up there.
Well, I mean, after 13 and 15, there's only up from here.
Absolutely.
So,
No, that game I think is gonna be great.
all right, I think Emma's next with 2 picks, I want to say.
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
And I don't know if
Yeah.
I want to pick this game now. I mean, I want to because it's my game. This is like my jam.
It's been your theme so far.
But looking at the hype factor and all of that, I'm like, no, I don't want.
Well, it doesn't matter about the hype factor. That's meaningless.
That's a way of ordering the list, and
But-
maybe an inkling of how much it's whether people think it's good or not.
You are thinking about what is going to review the best. This is not like a hype or taste thing. Otherwise I probably would not have picked Elden Ring first.
Yeah. Let's see.
Difficult.
It is really difficult.
After that first round,
Like, you have that first round where everything is like set for the next couple months, and then it's like it starts to peter out.
Yeah. And that second half of the year, who knows?
Not me, that's for sure.
Hey,
There's
man.
a couple that I kind of want to pick just to piss
Well,
a couple people off.
You do have 2 picks back to back.
I do.
So yeah, you can get your couple. And
Let's see.
While
I'm gonna say fuck it on this first one.
all
Say
right.
fuck it on the first one
Uh-huh.
and draft Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Those
Like I
games.
said,
That
that's
that
what jam. Those games have been pretty good as far as reviews are concerned.
and those games also, like, at minimum you're gonna get some points. Like, it's gonna get above
Yeah.
a 70 and like get it on the board at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
The other. Hmm.
We're just trying to fill silence for the podcast portion.
Huh?
There's a lot of thinking.
It's
You're like you're in Dragon Ball Z, just
or you're like in Banjo Kazooie, just.
I may. I may want to start pulling in the big bucks right now.
that's a good call.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 4 it is.
Yeah.
I should pick that one.
Just-
because
Yeah. No.
That's-
So
That's what I grew up
I
on
think it's a safe
also.
pick whenever it comes out. You know.
so
whenever it comes out.
yeah,
know.
like if it does hit this year, like you got a winner.
Oh man.
But that's Jesse's whole list.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Like Aaron, you probably have the safest list. Like
Kind of how I'm trying to play this.
I did like I only have one big bet, that's Bayonetta. Like that's like my big.
I like your list in balancing the going big while also playing safe. That's a good. Oh wow. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, Squire Tokyo.
that's supposed to be out in March, so that's all
I
right.
mean, that's definitely coming out this year.
Yeah, that's
It
that.
did say early 2022, so
Yeah, that's that. You're at minimum getting a game on the board though. So
Right.
at minimum.
all right, so
At minimum.
all right, Jesse, I believe you're up
We
next.
all can't say that.
Oh
To continue with that trend,
God,
game that's
what
made
crazy
by
ass
the-
thing is he gonna do next?
I'm
there's a
ready.
game made by the Dead Space folks
Oh, okay.
that has a 2022 release date.
Fucking what? I'll believe it when I fucking see it.
I think that trailer when it came out was real hype. I think the Dead Space remake is going to do really well. So I'm going to choose the Callisto Protocol.
What? Oh, all right. Okay.
That's a cool pick.
All right.
Probably won't come out this year, but hey.
All right. Aaron, you're up.
That's cool. That's a good one. All right. Good one in that I don't even know what it is, but hey, that's doesn't matter.
There's pedigree behind it.
All that matters is that the critics think it's good.
Oh, there's.
Let's see. Gonna go through this list. I got one down the pipe. I need to start doing research on when it's not my turn, because some of these games, there's a lot of games we're gonna get into just like, oh yeah, 2022. I don't know.
Well, I mean we, like I said, we have all the major releases on our dock for the year. So
Right. Well, for the first half, yes.
yes, for the first half. Well, we don't. The reason I do that is because you have no idea what's gonna happen the second half of the year.
Exactly.
You can make another one of those after E3. That's what happens.
Right. Yes. Number of games here on this first page. The hype factor also. Interesting to see the hype factor so high for Sifu. I don't.
That game's been getting some buzz in indie spaces. I heard Janet Garcia talking about it. I've heard a couple other people bring it up.
I'm excited to play it. Like, I loved Absolver.
I thought Absolver was okay, but that game just looked fucking cool. Like, it looks super cool.
Yes. Looked damn cool. You know what? This isn't. Ooh. No, that's why I didn't want to. I looked at the release date. It's like 2022. It's like I'm gonna look some stuff up before I make this pick.
I mean, Sifu's out in like 2 weeks.
No,
Yeah, that
that'll
one's a
be
safe
all right.
Oh.
That one's a safe pick. I was thinking of something else.
Oh, okay, but I pick and then you pick again, so you're
Exactly. Well, yeah, you picked twice, and then
Oh, right.
I also need to fit a bathroom break somewhere in here.
So I mean, do that during my pick.
Yeah, exactly.
Um.
So all right. So I'm looking. I apologize. I'm strategizing. Strategizing on the fly.
I have my strategy. Is just I'm wondering if one of you are gonna fuck it up.
Well, I mean that's how fantasy works, right?
Right.
You never know. Oh, god damn it. Looking through this list. It's hard. Some of these games. You know what? I'm gonna just so I can move on for now. I am gonna go with my heart, and I am selecting Splatoon 3.
All right. All right. I'm surprised no one got to this, especially M. I was sitting here like being like, please don't pick it, please don't pick it, please don't pick it. And it's a 2022 game, and it's made from Rocksteady, who hasn't put out a game in like 7 years.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League.
That was one of the games. I was looking at, and I was like, ooh, do I want to pick this game to piss people off?
I was just like, I'm not sure if it's going to make it out this year. There's no date beyond 2022. They've only done one gameplay trailer. But I'm like, and Rocksteady is known for delaying shit.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
But, like, I'm hoping against hope that the dream can stay alive. So there's that. As for my next pick, I'm actually kind of debating between a couple different games. Like, I got one that is, like, out fairly soon that I think could be, like good money, like, good bet. But I also think that, I also got some stuff later in the year I think can do pretty well as also, so I'm, like, kind of sitting here in my mind going like, well, maybe. So yeah, I want to look up one quick thing here. Alright, okay, that gives me confidence. I'm gonna pick a game that's out in about a month here, a little over a month, and it's I guess its predecessor reviewed very well, and that's Triangle Strategy.
Ooh.
Yeah, good call.
Get a couple guaranteed points on the board. All right, there we go.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta get guaranteed points on the board. I'm not Mr. Vegas over here.
Back to me. A lot of games here that like could easily pull in some good scores. But what gives me pause is I don't know how many we have left that are aiming for like 9s, you know?
Right. No, I definitely Triangle Strategy I definitely looked at and I was just like, that's probably an early to mid 8s, but it's a guaranteed money though.
Right, exactly.
Versus like my 9s were like my top 3. And then from there I kind of was just like played a little bit more risk.
Right. So I'm gonna look through this list here by release date just so I know what's coming up here. And then just a bunch of games that are just 2022, you know.
The safest date for this.
Yeah.
All right.
So, taking a look. I could go with another gamble. I don't know. There's one game that's on my mind that I don't know if it's going to do well. There's a lot writing on it. It is a... Well, I suppose I shouldn't say too much about it just in case I don't pick it, but want to pick it later. There's some games coming out this year.
There are, in fact, video games coming out this year.
There are video games coming out this year. This would have been easier for me to pick some stuff. Well, no, actually, it wouldn't have, because I still don't know how I feel about Arceus. Let's see.
I don't think Arceus is reviewing particularly well.
I haven't looked too much, to be quite honest with you, because I knew I was going to get it anyway. All right, you know what? Fuck it.
An 85 on Metacritic right now.
85? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on the higher end of what I was expecting, so that makes sense. Let's aim big. Not in the release date wise, but whether this game's gonna be good or not. Fuck. No, I'm pressing it. I'm pressing the button. I am drafting Forspoken.
Forspoken? Okay. All right.
Oh shit. Okay.
I don't know.
I mean,
they're betting big on that game, so I'm just like, I wonder.
all right. Fair enough. All right. That leads us to the bottom of the barrel.
I've got my last 3 games picked out. They're mapped out. I think the last 2 are safe, but I think this one is another one that we saw a trailer for once and never heard of it again. It's slated for 2022 release, but I don't know. Who knows? But I think it's going to review pretty well, because the last time one of these games came out, it has since gathered a pretty big following.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge.
Okay.
Nice.
That's not the safest bet in the world, but it's also not like awful.
Yeah, I think if it comes out, it'll probably get 70s or 80s.
All right, fair enough. All right, we got 2 picks from him.
Still looking through what we have available right now.
Ugh. All right. Yeah, I got to look through this list myself. These rosters that we have here suggest 10 spots. Is that not right?
I believe that's correct, but I mean, but
Okay.
I'm not 100%. I forget the setting.
Okay.
I gotta get 2 more games.
So maybe 2 more.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, these projected fantasy points maybe don't
No, because if
maybe don't put too much stock in.
because if Jesse's come out, like, that's, dude, what? Like,
Right.
Like, that's game.
I think it's kind of nuts, because I assume this is based partially on hype factor, because Final Fantasy 16 being at 5 doesn't make sense to me.
No, like the last one reviewed well enough, but
Yeah.
So, no.
Big name Final Fantasy, like even when that was 13 and 15, those were well liked by those fans at the very least.
Yeah. And they reviewed well enough also.
Right. So, and then having this one with Yoshi P on it, it's like, and they're going back to like more fantasy. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. What are you thinking, Em? She thinking? Yeah.
It's a little hard.
It
It's
It's a little hard.
Yeah.
It's been those first couple rounds were like fairly quick.
But now it's like I really have to start thinking about how these games are gonna do, and if they are actually going to,
And if they're even gonna
be
come
released.
out.
That if they're gonna come out being the biggest one.
Big one. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, ad on the
That's
phone
all
bullet. Fucking.
Like, I know I'm gonna pick a confirmed game,
All right, go on.
and then I kind of want to pick a window.
All right. I mean, that's kind of been what I've been doing. Is like all right, I know I'm getting money, and then go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick my safe one first.
All right. Let's look here. Oh, all right.
I did just see some gameplay footage because IGN dropped a video for the first 10 minutes, no death gameplay. Like, you don't die once, and that shit looks amazing.
Okay, all right. I really thought.
Emily with the Sifu pick.
I think that's a good choice.
I think that's a great choice.
Yep.
I think that's a great choice. I thought Aaron was gonna get it. I really did. But okay.
It dropped back down to me, yeah.
All right, and then we have Emily again, going again.
Now this is the one that I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
This is
What
we're getting to the point where it starts to get hard.
Yep.
And this one might also piss off some people.
All right.
What was she doing? What's she doing?
Oh no, she's thinking. For a second.
Oh.
The good thing about your list, Aaron, is like the only one of these that's like kind of a like wait and see a Starfield so far. Like
Right.
that's the good news about yours.
Well, so that's the thing is now I'm thinking like, okay, so we got I picked safe ones, some pretty safe ones to start, and now that we're in what looks like the second half of this list, I think I'm gonna get crazy.
All right, he's gonna get crazy.
I'm gonna get crazy.
Now, you said no remakes.
No, you can get.
Well-
No, you can.
We can do remakes?
You can do remakes, not remaster. It has to be like ground up.
Okay.
He set the rules for the thing, so if it's on the list, it should be
Yeah, you should be good.
It should be good.
to go.
Yeah.
So expansion packs do count.
Yep, they do. That's why I got Cuphead: The Delicious Last Course.
Yeah.
And why I just drafted Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
wow.
safe. That's pretty safe.
That's a good one.
I was waiting for that one.
I was surprised you did.
Literally going to be my next pick.
I was surprised you didn't get it. I really was. Like that. That's
Like
honestly.
I said, do I want to start pissing some people off? Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
That's a. So all right. All right.
Oh, it's okay though. I know what I'm going to pick. And I've changed my publisher name.
That's
Oh,
what
wow.
I'm
There you go. Good. That's a good name. Very good name.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh my god. Jesus. Oh, darling.
2023 games.
God damn.
Cheers.
So with this pick, I kickstarted it.
Oh.
Oh.
I loved The Messenger so much.
Oh,
that when
it
I
was a
saw
great game. Great
that team
game.
was going to be making an RPG inspired by like Chrono Trigger and Secrets of Mana. and
Oh,
those SNES games.
okay.
I had to kickstart Sea of Stars, so I'm going to pick that.
Nice. That's
Nice.
cool.
I like Jesse's projected score. It's
Yeah, I know. It's not very reflective of what I'm. I don't trust that for a single second.
no.
Okay, just because I want to. I did a little bit of self-indulgence with Splatoon 3.
Okay.
But I want to have one game on here that like speaks to me on an instinctual level.
All right.
And Splatoon is that. Windjammers already came out, so that's not here. But I did see one game in here that's like, oh right, this is going to take over whatever weekend this comes out for sure, and is going to be on my list as long as it isn't complete and utter trash.
All right.
The question is it going to come out this year?
Okay.
And as soon as I find it in this dumb list,
You
just
can.
give me a second here. There's a lot of video games. I can search, right? Yeah. All right. I am selecting Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Oh wow!
I'm sorry, what?
It's that Jet Set Radio like on Steam.
Oh, that's
Oh.
right.
The
Yeah.
spiritual
Right.
successor to Jet Set Radio,
Yeah.
with the guy who did the music for Jet Set Radio. And it's got skateboarding and BMX and rollerblading, and Tony Hawk's scoring system and graffiti, and it's I want all of it. I want everything. So
All right, fair
they
enough.
say it's a 2022 release, so you know,
All right.
probably be fine.
I'm gonna
Just gonna go ahead
browse.
and wish this
I'm gonna
down right
browse the top games here for a minute. Do I want to make any big swings? Is the question.
That is the question.
'Cause, like, I could do Hogwarts Legacy. I could
Yeah.
do King of Fighters.
Which I'm surprised you haven't even.
now. Fighting games don't really review well.
No, they review very poorly.
DNF Fighters and King of Fighters, I think, are going to do pretty well in the fighting game communities, but I don't think they're going to review well.
Yeah, like
How did Guilty Gear, the new Guilty Gear, rate?
it like got in the 80s. Like
Okay, which is like good for
All right.
Fighting game.
Fighting game, yeah.
yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna go one that is one that I feel is a game that is the probably thing I'm most excited for during the first half of the year here.
Okay.
And it's something that'll probably review in the 70s, most likely, just barely. But that is Destiny 2: The Witch Queen.
Nice.
I was waiting for you to grab that.
Yeah, I'm very very excited for it. I'm fucking dying. It's unfortunate it'll get reviewed without the raid, unfortunately.
Sure.
So that's
yeah.
gonna be a real kick in the balls to it, but I think
Yep.
it'll do well enough, especially because of all the convenience stuff they're cleaning up. And then, I got a couple in my. I'm debating if I just want to say fuck it and throw a Hail Mary, or if I want to be more sane. I want to check something real quick.
Dive in. Just dive in. Just go for it.
Just
Dive in head
do it.
first. Let's go.
Do it.
Thing is, I don't want a 0. It's the problem.
I mean, again, yeah, we have budgets to trade games. It's something to keep in mind while we.
Yeah.
We don't know entirely how that works,
All
but
right, we're gonna.
thinking.
Thinking. You know, I'm a big fan of the Batmans,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm really thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of a couple other things on here as I look through. I'm officially out of stuff that has official dates.
Yeah.
This last one's hard. You know what? I'm gonna roll the dice, and I'm gonna bet on Gotham Knights.
Son of a bitch.
All right,
Nice.
that's my
Very good.
team. Those last two are really scraping the bottom here.
I mean, yeah, this is gonna be a fun time, let me tell you. All right. I'm gonna refresh here. Okay, it is me. Time to draft. Available games. Oh God, this list. All right. We got some expansions. Got some fighting games. You got games I've never heard of, which is really messing me up here. Especially if we go by hype factor. That's my favorite part of this, has been going like sorting by hype factor and finding games that I've never heard of. Like, oh my God, is this gonna do me in? Gonna come in later in the year and just destroy me.
I mean, if you want to talk about the safest person here right now, as far as like actually getting their games out, it's M.
Yeah.
Because every single one of those fucking games is dated except Ghostwire.
Yep.
So, and Ghostwire is first half of the year, so like she's safe as far as if it comes out or not. It's just the review codes.
Right.
Versus Jesse is like, dude, I don't.
Let's
Big
go.
bucks, no whammies.
Yeah, like, good luck, sir.
I mean, it could pay off so goddamn well.
Yeah, and then like you and I kind of split the difference.
We're kind of splitting here. I'm trying to stay safer, but I'm gonna probably start getting crazy as this list
Goes on.
whittles down. You know, so okay. This game, I'm just there's a small portion of my brain that's kind of invested in how this game shakes out, and I don't know if it's going to score very well, but I know they've been working very hard on trying to make this game worth what they've done to it. The fan base doesn't know quite how to feel about it yet, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
But it is going to be marketed quite a bit when it comes out. I am going with Saints Row.
Okay.
Okay,
Alright.
that's not a bad option. Not bad.
I don't know. I don't know how that game's gonna come out, how people are gonna feel about it.
All right.
I just know they've been working hard on that thing.
Right.
I think remakes are kind of a toss-up, right?
Right.
Yeah, like yeah, like because it can go shit or it can go real well.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
Jesse's up next.
So this is our when we have our free agents too.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I won't go too deep into what I'm picking
Mm-hmm.
or what I have left to pick from, I
Mhm.
guess. So this game is a visual novel.
Oh, dude, are you sure?
Release date, and the last one got in the high 80s.
Okay.
It's a murder mystery whodunit waifu simulator. So I think it appeals to a broad enough market.
Fair enough.
All right.
But it's
Is this another pigeon dating simulator?
No.
No?
Although that was
Oh.
pretty good too. It is made by the team that did Danganronpa.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. I'm interested. Go
So
on.
we've got a pedigree there.
All right.
So I'm gonna pick the Somnium Files Nirvana.
All right.
Hell of a
Okay.
title.
Which is the sequel, right? Which is the sequel to AI, the Somnium Files. So I'm hoping it does well. I know it's going to come out because it's got a release date that was just announced. So I may have to change my name again to 2022, 23.
All right.
All right.
Emily, what are you thinking?
Em's got a pick.
I'm looking at 2 games I have on my watch list. I'm like, ooh,
Yep.
ooh. But we do also have our free agents.
We do.
Yes, we do.
So,
But you also got to think about what you want to draft that, no one like that you can that you keep. You don't have to bid for it. Yeah. So be aware of that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go a little crazy with my last pick.
Okay.
Go crazy.
Go crazy.
Go crazy.
Let's see it.
All right. Well, hold on. What is it? Let's see. Mario plus Rabbids. I thought you were gonna go fucking Harry Potter.
All right.
All
No,
right.
I was not gonna go with Hogwarts Legacy. I figured, yeah, let's have some fun. And the Mario Rabbids combo that's been coming out, Kingdom Battles and all that,
Yeah.
they've actually been doing fairly well.
Those games have been pretty good. All right. So we have our teams. We have our projections. With I'm sitting at a 90. Only good games is an 82.79. In 2023 with a 69.49.
All
And
right.
Emily is the projected winner with a 91.11.
All right.
So,
Clever.
you can start making bids for games, and then next week we'll have those bids and any counter bids that have gone on, and yeah. So
It says here on the site, bids will be revealed in 4 days and 5 hours. So everyone's going to make their bids in private.
Yep.
We won't be showing that, and then we'll figure out what we're doing from there. And then we also, like it says, we may have to read up on how the bid system works, because I'm assuming we can let go of games for money, or that would be my guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, bidding system, draft game, pickup game, whatever. Secret, public. Games. Will I still lose money even if no one else is bidding on a game? Can I bid $0 on a game? Yes.
Okay.
Unless the league sets a minimum bid amount.
All right. So we're gonna take a quick little moment here, quick break, and then so I can reorganize everything here for the stream, and then we'll do what we gotta do. So,
all right,
that was fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
We'll be back in a bit.
Oh my God, so many windows. So many windows.
All right, hang out for a second. We'll be back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can't edit it while on another one, so never mind. Everyone, you're just gonna have to deal.
That happens, you know.
You just gonna have to hang. Alright. How you been?
She's AFK now, so you'll get an answer later.
Great. Exactly what I wanted. Alright, and boom. Alright, we're hold on, let me drop that to the right layer. And we're good. Sorry for the weird thing there, everybody. So we're gonna be talking new releases in a minute, all the Pokemon, Arceus, and other good stuff. Alrighty.
You know what? I am going to use this time to go to the bathroom. I'll be back.
All right, everybody. So while they're doing their thing, getting set up, we're gonna get ready. We're gonna run through what we're gonna be talking about in a minute here. We're gonna be doing the Pokemon Legends Arceus. That was a big release. I have had controversial things to say about it at minimum. So there's that. I think that that's gonna be good. So yeah. So, and I have Uncharted and Nobody Saves the World to talk about, so we got some stuff. By the way, Em, you look very nice today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try to look nice for the podcast, so.
Okay. Well, thank you. Very good. All right. So, we're waiting on Ninja to get back, and then we're good to go. God damn it. All right. So, anyway, Aaron, hello.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. I was like for a second, it looked like you were like not hearing us. And I was like, oh God, we should have never taken that break.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. All right. All right. So we're back. We're good. We're rolling. All right. Hey guys. We played
Hey,
video
what's up?
games. We played video games this week.
We played
Sure
one
did.
too.
And as people who played video games this week, we like to talk about them. And Aaron, you played
Yes.
the biggest new release this week by far.
I did.
So let's hear about the Pokemans. Tell me about the Pokemans.
Pokemon.
So Bronson, have you heard of Pokemon before?
No, Aaron, I have not.
Okay, well let me tell you what Pokemon are and how you can catch them, and then use them for battling. Let me explain this whole system. Jesse, Emily, have you heard of a Pokemon before?
Yeah,
The
they're like
idea sounds
Pikachus,
fairly
right?
familiar.
Oh, good, you know. Well, I'm just gonna tell you anyway. So Pokemon are these pocket monsters. You keep them in your pocket. God damn it. So I've been
Do you battle
playing a
them?
little bit more.
Yes, is it like Persona?
Oh, it's totally it's Persona 5. I'm getting real big Persona 5 vibes from this. No.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go pick up this game.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna sum this up real quick. This is Pokemon with Monster Hunter. More Pokemon than Monster Hunter, but a lot of like we need to do Pokemon different. Let's look at Monster Hunter for ideas. And so the setup is Pokemon Arceus. You're a 15-year-old from modern day who gets picked up by the Pokemon God into some neutral realm. And Arceus, the Pokemon God Arceus, looks at you and says, "Hey, you need a phone? Here's a phone."
You need a phone.
You're like, "Cool, yeah, sure, whatever." Also, I'm gonna drop you off somewhere you've never been. You don't know what's gonna go on later, and literally just drops you off in this random world, and you don't know anyone, and you're just like, "Well, this would be alarming to a sane person, but oh well, there's Pokemon here, so I'm in familiar territory at least." And then you just go in and you learn about this world. And what's going on here is you join Team Galaxy, which, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the bad guys from Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, from the 4th gen.
And
Okay.
in this region, the Hisui region or whatever it's called.
Haisu?
Hisui? I don't know. Team Galaxy like had just arrived and are kind of playing mediary between Diamond Clan and Pearl Clan, who are warring factions in this region. And you just kind of jump in there, and you're helping solve problems.
Okay.
Basically, so very Monster Hunter. There's a home area where you can get all your stuff taken care of. One big thing in this game is crafting. You are crafting your Pokeballs. You are crafting your potions. In a menu very similar to Monster Hunter or even like Breath of the Wild. And you're changing outfits and all that fun stuff. Big thing is you go out into the open world and you run around and you catch and collect and battle Pokemon. That is it. And then the big thing is also you're filling out your Pokedex, and your Pokedex is not just catching them, but you need to fill out a certain amount of research points, which means you're collecting them a number of times, you're fighting them a number of times, you see them use this move a number of times, and that will add towards research points, which ups your rank, which is kind of, in a Monster Hunter way, doing Pokemon gym badges. There's 12 ranks to go up, and as you go up, you are moving along in the story, which I'm not far. I'm about halfway through rank 2 right now.
Okay.
I'm in the second zone, which, I don't know, from the looks of the map, I haven't looked ahead, but it looks like there's 4 or 5 different zones, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I've been playing it a bit. Took like an hour to 2 hours of mostly cutscenes of people talking. No, there's no voice acting in it, like Pokemon.
Great.
So
Great. No,
text,
no. It's
very quiet audio. Standing in this open field, telling me what Pokemon is again.
I just love that how after all this time, these games still don't have a I know what a Pokemon is option.
Well, so that's the funny thing about this, is that there is a dialogue part. You know what Pokemon are, right? And you say yes. And I didn't select no. I imagine that they don't. I don't know. I imagine there's a little more explanation, but the whole thing is that even if you select, you understand what Pokemon are, you are familiar with all of this, they will still like walk you through how you play this game. And I somewhat understand the logic, because this is a new approach even for Game Freak, for Pokemon games. This is different. You are running around an open world. You are crouching down to hide from Pokemon. You need to create advantages for yourself to up your catch rate, which means approaching them from behind to throw your Pokeball, or to attack them with your own Pokemon. There's throwing items and berries down to distract them, and so it's definitely different from your usual Pokemon game. But like, when you say I know what Pokemon is, there also needs to be like something like, I play video games. Like, usually this is done with an easy, normal, hard mode selection at the very beginning of the game. But
right.
Just, like, I understand you're explaining a lot, but you don't need to walk me through this.
Just the like, I am not a child.
Right. But what's funny is Hard Drive ran the satirical video game website ran an article making fun of the fact that it has this long tutorial, and at the very end it says such and such player had to go into the manual to find a mechanic that they skipped over because they were hitting A like throughout the whole thing. And it's like, that's the thing. There is new stuff. There is stuff to learn and try to figure out in this game. That an explanation is necessary. But when you combine it with like your standard typical, we are a Pokemon game, we are going to over explain everything, it makes you inclined to skip it all, which can get you in trouble.
Right. Like, the thing is, though, is like, we live in an age where tutorials have stopped doing this, like, let me beat you with a phone book.
Right.
And it's just like, it's just like, I think, like, I look at like Persona 5 and how like it gets over that hill, even though it has like a ton of stuff to explain, by just like having a really engaging story and drip feeding it to you over time.
Right.
Like, you could have gone that route, You could have gone the route that old video games did, which is just like, hey, figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, like, you could have done so many things, but instead you're like, okay, so we're just going to beat you with this phone book until you understand.
Right. Yeah.
know.
And then that extends into the story. Like, you'll go from one cutscene to the next of people saying the same thing to you, just to make sure that you understand what the hell's going on. And it's just like, guys, this is not a hard story to follow. You can't. This is taking way too long. It's because here's the thing. Like, I am excited about this because it is different for Game Freak. This is something that is different. They are trying something new, and I want to explore that. I want to see.
I want
to
that
push
to
to its
be.
limits.
I want that to be good as my primary
Of
thing.
course.
You know.
But like, let's put it through its paces. Let's go. And at that beginning there, they are just first of all, yeah, at the beginning they drag it. The amount of times I've already gone to have dinner with my professor and quote unquote rival to eat potato mochi at the end of the day to review the story stuff we've done before going to bed, and then waking up and in the city and having to walk out to the door to go back to the hunting portion.
Right.
It's it's little irritations so that was rough. And then what's happening also is you are leveling through. You are unlocking zones, which means the very first zone is pretty not so interesting. Like, the most interesting Pokemon for me anyway in that first zone is Shinx. Otherwise, you're getting Starlies, you're getting Bidoofs.
Who doesn't love good Bidoof, though?
Bidoof's great, but man, there's a lot of them. And when you have a lot of one thing, it gets old.
Yeah, fair.
And, they've created this open world, which, especially, again, for Game Freak, I keep having to preface that. For Game Freak, this is big. Like, I don't know. There's just a lot to do. Anyway, so this very first bit, you're just trying to get through the story because you want to unlock the cooler zones, which means you get stuck in those cutscenes again, which means I'm not doing the one thing I really want to do, which is be out exploring and catching Pokemon and fighting and doing all of that. Technically, I can do that in the first zone, but it's just, I know the cool stuff is
not
later
here.
in the game.
Yeah.
It's not here. So it makes you choose to watch more cutscenes and to do all that. So it's like, oh god,
great! I love it. I love it so much.
The characters are fine, but because it's just that dead simple story and characters, it's just like, yeah, all right. And what really doesn't help is that they make you a character that's just, yeah, you're from the modern day. We're just gonna drop you in, so you have no relation to this world. And then the way they're like constantly addressing you is like, wow, you're an outsider. You seem okay, but you have to prove yourself, and you have to keep proving yourself because you're an outsider. And
Just,
I don't know, it makes me like not invested in the world in a weird way.
well, it doesn't help that the world looks like you took a GameCube game and up-resed it to 1080p.
Yeah,
And that's being generous because I've seen some GameCube games in Dolphin that look way better.
Yeah, it's kind of gonna wait till the main. I guess we're starting the main thrust of my thoughts on this game here.
I mean, if you got other stuff, like, please.
I mean, it's I've been messing around with running around in the world just this morning actually. Started going around in the second zone, and it's a big zone. I've been testing, trying to stealth through grass, which I've gotten mixed results out of that. Sometimes they just see me, and then you got to run away. You have a dodge mechanic. You're like dodging, Pokemon when they're pissed off at you, and you don't necessarily want to fight, or you're just gonna throw berries at them or something. There are alpha Pokemon, which are bigger and meaner, those are you really, as far as I know, you don't catch right off the bat. They're just pissed, and so you gotta whittle them down with your own Pokemon. And then there's sort of a boss battle Pokemon, which I have only done once so far. With what looks like a new form of Scyther, I believe is Cleavor.
That sounds pretty cool.
And yeah. Here's something that's fun though. What you do is you throw bombs, BALMs, which is to calm them down. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you're trying to calm them down, and what you can do is when you are running around in this controlled environment against Cleavor, it'll rush at you, and if you jump out of the way, it'll bang into the wall, and then it'll be dizzy for a second. And the game tutorial tells you, hey, at that moment you can send your Pokemon out and hit them, and that will make your bombs more effective once they regain themselves. So I don't know. I was looking up something else, and it was like a Game Explain video or something, and they said like, yeah, no, just throw bombs. It's just, I know they included this mechanic, but really it's just faster and simpler to just throw bombs until it's dead. And it's like, cool, okay, damn.
All right.
It's something that they had intended to implement to like kind of have this varied gameplay for this boss battle like setup, and it just everyone takes the path of least resistance. You know, that's something you have to keep in mind when you design your game, and it's just like, shit.
When you exclusively design your game for 8-year-olds, you don't need to worry about that.
Well, that's the thing though, is they still keep the Pokemon fighting happening. You're still earning those moves and keeping those type effectiveness and everything, but
also very easy. So once again, still designed for 8-year-olds.
I know, but like, you think they would have still kept the Pokemon fighting at the center of this boss battle thing, and people have just very easily been sidestepping it. It's like, wow, all right. You can, as you unlock zones, you get access to a mount that you can ride.
That's cool.
I was under the impression you could pick among like Pokemon that are rideable. That may have been just wishful thinking, because what it is they just they have a Pokemon for each zone, it looks like.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah. Well. So once you unlock one from another zone, I believe you can ride it in any zone.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that at least, but I think it's going to be a very limited amount of Pokemon you can ride, which is a shame. Which again, we'll get to my later talk about this game. So I'm not even halfway through. There's a lot to do to get to where I need to get, but it's been a fairly straightforward Pokemon story. What really sucks is that Game Freak is really good at world building, creating their own region based on France or Hawaii or the UK or whatever. And I always find that stuff fascinating. And they're doing that here, but the idea is very much you just settled here. There are these clans that are hanging out, but there's not cities.
It looks very much like feudal Japan.
Right. Yeah. But again, there's not even a whole lot of cities. You have your settlement, and then there's a bunch of open world area, which is fine. That's good to explore. But like, one of the strongest points of Game Freak and mainline Pokemon games is all the cities and how they've created this region and set it up, and they don't have that in this.
It's the Breath of the Wild of Pokemon.
Yep. Which means they don't have that strong point that they usually do.
You made feudal Japan, but you didn't make Ghost of Tsushima.
Right. Yeah. So, another thing they added is strong style and agile style moves. So once you master a move, which you use that move enough times with that Pokemon, you can do a strong form of that move, which uses more power points, but hits harder. And agile style also uses more power points, but is faster.
I
And
imagine
you can use that for turn order, which is a thing in this game,
that's cool. That's a neat,
which is cool. Yes.
I like that a lot.
If I'm gonna take, I need to get these guys knocked out real quick. So we're gonna go strong style on this effective move and hope it's enough.
that's that they've actually added a little bit of depth to it. That's neat.
There's a little bit of depth to it,
That's
and again,
so-
it only comes with mastering. So you have to roll with these Pokemon. You have to keep them going. What's really cool is they make catching Pokemon a lot more kind of the center focus. So you wander into these higher level zones, and like, yeah, you do need to grind. Like I need to grind next time I boot it up to get my Pokemon at the level they need to be, so that they're not being one shot by what's coming up. But if I want to, I can just sneak into tall grass, get and start throwing Pokeballs and catch the Pokemon I need, and those Pokemon will be of the level. Like I don't have to whittle them down necessarily. Like the stronger ones, like especially alphas, obviously you got to whittle them down to catch them. But the Pokemon that are wandering around in the wilds, if you can make the situation as favorable to you as possible, you just catch them, and then you head back to your camp, and there's a guy there you can switch out. You can switch out your Pokemon from what you've caught and what's in storage. You can bring them to your main team, and then you head right back out there.
Huh.
So that there's a couple ways of handling that. It's also, and then the way they handle the Pokedex is, again, like, yeah, you have to use these Pokemon to the point where there's a rank system for each Pokemon. You get them up to rank 10 to have like completed your research for that Pokemon, which means being exposed to them and using them. So it really encourages you to really try out every Pokemon that they have, which I think is neat. For those people who are completionists, man, you've got some stuff you can do. But here's kind of where I want to go with this, which is that this game goes generally in the right direction. I like seeing Game Freak trying new things, but it's going a little slow in that direction. I think there is a general point we are all aiming for Pokemon to go at this point. And I feel like Game Freak is in denial about it. And I don't know if Game Freak, the company, is the one to do it, to take it to that next level that it needs. Which has me thinking, like, maybe Game Freak really needs to be concentrating on strictly mainline games, the ones that are accessible to children, that, you know, super heavy tutorial, and they're just making their new regions and making their small handful of new Pokemon. Even keeping it 2D if they want, you know, whatever. Just make your world.
Right.
And then Nintendo needs to be like, all right, we are going to bring in these other studios and have them do cool stuff with what Game Freak comes up with.
Not the worst idea in the world.
I think that's the way it's got to go. And if you're trying to follow where people's desires for Pokemon go, it ends in a Pokemon MMO.
Yeah,
It does. And
Final Fantasy 14, but for Pokemon.
Right. Like, we are talking about, like, what people want are these open world areas. People want to do more stuff with their Pokemon. They want to have them wander around anywhere, ride them if they can, and fly around. You know, in an open world MMO setting, not only can you do like your mainline Pokemon games where you have different regions that can come with, you know, each expansion. You can have that open world style that people like. You could even include things like Pokemon Snap. Like, you can just have that as a feature in a game like that. You can introduce a lot of stuff. And here's the thing, there are not a lot of properties that people would be willing to pay a monthly subscription on top of paying for each installment. Pokemon is a guarantee.
Let me tell you something, Aaron. though.
Yes.
Let me. Why? I'm gonna pretend to be Game Freak here, and
Okay.
Nintendo / the Pokemon Company.
Mm-hmm.
Why would we do that when we can spend way less money making garbage and just make all of the money?
Because you would assume there's a tipping point. And I'm here to tell you, with Pokemon Legends Arceus, this is still not the tipping point. This game is going to sell a lot.
Yeah, no, like, dude. So I've been like, I got a bunch of comparisons and screen grabs from my Twitter this weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I shared them and posted them on Facebook, and like immediately there's just a squad of people being like, "But Pokemon,"
Yep.
and I'm just like, why? Why do you do this? You're just hurting yourself in the long run. Like,
if
just...
there was a game to make a stand, this would have been one. Any game where it is hyped up, but it is not the new region with new Pokemon, because that's going to sell regardless. That's just going to happen. But this is a game where they were not going to be. They were going to introduce some new forms, and they were trying to push in a direction that people want them to go. Like Pokemon.
Like, I was watching, like, because I wanted to be able to discuss this game, but I didn't want to pay for it. I watched a ton of Twitch footage over the weekend, and like on launch day, like, and I'm just like, and I'm watching this, and I'm like just visually, why does this game have to look like shit?
Right.
Like, it looks bad. Like, it looks like they said, yeah, what the fuck is anti-aliasing?
Right.
Like.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck is AA? Oh, yeah, GameCube textures. That seems fine. Like, that's, and then, like,
there are GameCube games that look cleaner.
Yeah, and then, like, you look at stuff, like, on the Switch, and, like, you look at Xenoblade and Monster Hunter, or, like, Breath of the Wild, which has the exact same art style, but looks 1,000 times better, and is every bit as big. And, and someone's just like, well, I feel like to make these gameplay improvements. And I'm just like, dude, no.
It comes down to Game Freak. That company just does not have the people, I guess, to take advantage of what... That's what's nuts to me, is this is part of Nintendo. Nintendo has people who are really good at getting the most out of their own damn system. Like, how do they not have access to this information?
Well, not only that...
It's internal, there's no excuse. Like, you're there. You should know exactly what your system can do.
Well, the Pokemon Company is separate from Nintendo, but it's not like Nintendo can't go like, hey, you can borrow some people.
Nintendo would probably be a good investment to make sure the Pokemon game looks and plays as good as it can.
Like, it's just so weird to, like, these textures just look like shit. And, like, the game still does, like, the forever tutorial. And it's just, like, I immediately heard all this and saw this, and I was just like, I'm good. I'm okay.
That's perfectly fine. I am sorry to say, over at Amazon, bestsellers, a lot of them are gift cards and like SD cards. Yeah. But the first video game at number 2 in bestsellers, Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
Number 1 is a PlayStation Store gift card. Next game, down to number 5, Pokemon Legends Arceus digital.
Yeah.
And then nothing game wise. Just Dance 2022 at 26.
Well, yes, and like, granted, it's not like a new big release in it this weekend as well. Besides this, really, like the Uncharted remake's not like huge, like it's just like adults play these too, and these games have been around long enough to where they should know that, and it's not like you can't make a game for both. Mario is a perfect example of how you can make a game that is for kids and adults. Mm-hmm. Zelda is a perfect example of a game you make for kids and adults. Mm-hmm. This just feels like it is a game for children. And it is like and it's obnoxious as hell.
Yeah.
And like I'm just like it feels and looks like a fucking GameCube game.
Yeah.
And it's this is the excuse me. This is the most profitable game franchise in the world. It's the most profitable media franchise in the world. So, like, I don't, and money doesn't always lead to success, as, we know, but, like, at least have some fucking production value. Yeah.
Right. Again, they have access. If they ask Nintendo, we need help to make this game better or bigger or whatever, Nintendo's gonna help them out. And, like, I can't imagine the cost to make that happen is that high.
Like, the problem is, though, is the games always still sell well. And even, like, there's always going to be new young kids.
Yep.
And they're always going to like it.
Yeah.
And, and I feel like the audience for this game is just so much in the normie crowd, or if not normie, Pokemon super fan crowd, that they're going to like it no matter what. Or they're going to at least buy it and enjoy it. Yeah.
Prints money. Why would you change anything about it?
Right. Yeah. It's like Call of Duty. Like Call of Duty. Actually, you know what? No, there's more change in Call of Duty than an average Pokemon release, and that's sad. That's like your bare minimum should be like because like Call of Duty at least bothers to tell a different story each time. Like it's just. Yeah, like I'm watching this footage. Like I just pulled up the #1 stream on Twitch for it right now, and I'm just like just like it's cool that they're doing the open world thing now, and that's like the nicest thing I can say about this is it's like a step in the right direction.
Yep.
So.
But that's the thing that I think that's. I don't know what it's going to take, for people who play the games to make enough of a stink about it, like. People got pretty upset, Sword and Shield, for a couple different reasons. Still sold ridiculous.
Oh yeah, like I think that's like still a top 10 selling Switch game, right?
Probably.
Like it's, and that was like the first mainline console Pokemon. It still just did fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So it's the 5th best selling Switch game.
Yeah.
Like, it's only behind Breath of the Wild, Smash Bros, Animal Crossing, and Mario Kart. Like,
right.
Like, bruh.
Yep.
It's, it's they have no reason to change, and unless, like, a lot of normies and a lot of the people who've been around forever get fucking mad and say, fuck this, it's not gonna...
And they, in that sense, they have no reason to change. Like, which is why I think like it'd be cool to just let Game Freak make their mainline Pokemon game, and then when you want to stretch out, like, leave Game Freak, like from the development standpoint, leave Game Freak out of it, and get some other studios to try and do cool stuff with it, and then you're getting your mainline sales, and then you have other studios coming out with other games at the same time that build on Pokemon like this.
I mean, they did. Like, that was what Pokemon Conquest was, and that game was fucking awesome.
That game's great. Pokken Tournament.
Yeah.
Like, that game's cool. Like, Pokemon Unite is also doing well. Like, they
that last one, it's a little pay to win.
It's doing well.
It's doing well. It's not a great game. By any means.
I'm not a big MOBA person, but it does well.
It is So, but yeah, like I'm watching this footage right now. Like they're throwing some fruit out, and that's like a neat idea, and now they're gonna go up and sneak up on it and throw a ball at it, and hopefully they can't like that. That is all really neat ideas.
Yeah,
like that's really fleshed out and neat ideas. It's just it's just not enough, dude.
It's not.
Like, like, I say this as someone who, like, my history of Pokemon is I love the first 2 gens, think the third's okay, skipped 4, hated 5, loved 6. Like, I thought 6 was my return.
6 is good.
Like, I thought my 6 was my return to Pokemon. I was like, oh, dude, I'm in Pokemon now. I'm back in it. And then 7 was bad, really bad. And then, like, 8 didn't really improve any of my complaints by much or at all. And they were both, like, giant piles of shit. And it's just like... Like, and the thing is like, I shouldn't say they're bad. They're just like mediocre. Like,
Right, yeah.
Like, if you stripped the Pokemon name off of this and like changed the Pokemon to just random monsters that looked cool, like it would just be a middling JRPG.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Is like you could do that for most of Pokemon. If you just did that, it would fall apart fairly quickly.
I think the first two gens
Again, most of
yeah,
them.
yeah. Like I think the first two gens of Gen 6 like have this level of gameplay that is like really good for the platform it's on, and really well done. And then like, yeah, and I can't speak for Gen 4. I've heard great things though. Versus
there are some true believers of Gen 3 and Gen 4.
versus like this where so like, but like I feel like if you just stripped that name off, it like these games wouldn't even review as well as they do. Like, and it is people. It's Pokemon. Like that's the whole argument, and like that argument gets made a lot about Nintendo, and I understand that, but like Nintendo's, first, like, look at Metroid Dread. It was really good last year. Mm-hmm. It wasn't for me, but it was really good. And then I can say the quality there, and then like Zelda, Mario, Animal Crossing, all great. I had someone throw an argument just like, well, Animal Crossing didn't change as much. Like, dude, there's more change in Animal Crossing over the years than there has been Pokemon up until this game. And like at least Animal Crossing like looks good. This game like looks bad visually. Like watching this stream right now, I'm just like, this looks ugly as hell.
I think the art's neat, but again, it goes back to like this is open world stuff, and there's just not a whole lot interesting going on there. Just wander around this open field. Like I can do that.
So, all right. So you have anything else to say on it?
It's Pokemon, so I'm having a good time regardless. But that's the long and short of it. I playing this game makes me want more of what they are not capable of giving us. I'm just always going to stick in my craw a bit, but at the end of the day, they're doing Pokemon.
I'm just wondering when you're gonna hit the point of us Blizzard fans where you're like, I'm tired of the abuse, Blizzard. I'm tired of the abuse, Game Freak.
when they fuck up, I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna take.
That's when is your Shadowlands coming?
That's a good question, right? Like I don't know. Like this would be a game where it's like, here is this not quite mainline game. The Game Freak's putting their all in it, I guess, and it just does not. The graphics are not really improving, despite the fact that like this generation and last generation have been putting out games that look better. Like that they're bumping against a wall that they are not. They can't seem to get past, and it's frustrating. But no, this is not going to be the game that makes them stop and think and change.
That's a bummer. So.
Yeah.
I have to use the restroom real quick. Hey, Jesse, can you talk about Monster Hunter Rise with Aaron and Em while I use the restroom real quick?
Monster Hunter Rise? What's up with Monster Hunter Rise?
Yeah, I'm still playing it. I have gotten through the single-player mode, and now I'm at the multiplayer portion of the game, but I got my fiance to start playing it.
Nice.
And she, like, absolutely hated it at first. She was like, this UI is clunky. I can't control my character the way I want to. I can't like attack anything. Yep. Being in melee sucks. The camera angles are terrible. And I'm like, okay, so maybe I was wrong. Maybe this isn't the game for you. And then she moved over to. She was using the Charge Blade, which is a pretty slow and clunky weapon when you get started with it anyway, right? Like most of the melee weapons are pretty slow, with the exception of like the Sword and Shield, the dual blades.
Yep.
That might be it. Actually,
that was the one
anyway. Yeah, well, yeah, because they're fast and they're flashy.
Yep,
and
exactly.
So she was like, okay, well, there's like 3 ranged weapons, right? Like, what do I pick? And she hates using controllers.
Okay.
For some reason, I don't understand the stigma for her behind it, even though she's got like 4 Xbox controllers for some reason.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, right. That aside, I was like, okay, so the good news is that if you use a ranged weapon, it's a lot easier to control with a mouse and keyboard, as opposed
Sure.
to using a mouse and keyboard for a melee weapon. It's like trying to play Dark Souls with a mouse and keyboard,
Yeah.
which is not fun for anybody involved.
Right.
So she picked up the light bowgun,
Mhm.
and over this weekend put in 16 hours in the game.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's that barrier to entry that Monster Hunter has when you look at, just like with a fighting game, you're like, Jesus, what do I pick?
Mhm.
What do I start with?
Yeah.
Who is good? Who's good to learn with? And
Yep.
it's just finding that weapon, I think. And for some people, Monster Hunter still isn't for them, but for her, she found a weapon that clicked with her, and suddenly it was just like a switch clicked,
Right.
and she fell in love with the game.
Nice.
Yeah, so we've been going on these multiplayer hunts together, and the neat thing about the multiplayer hunt is like you start your party, and then you can limit it to your party or have other people join in, just like any other game.
Mhm.
But the monster health that you're fighting scales with how many players are in the game.
Okay.
So if you've got 2 people, it's at X amount. If you've got 3 people, it's at Y, and 4 people, it's Z, or whatever.
Yeah.
So it makes for a more dynamic fight.
Okay.
It's been a lot of fun playing through it with somebody I know. I played through the Switch version like by myself mostly,
Mhm.
but I guess it's true for any multiplayer game, right? Like
Sure. Yeah.
if you got friends to talk to about it and commiserate with or whatever, it's more fun. But
And that's kind of the ideal Monster Hunter scenario, is having people with you.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
yeah.
It's I mean, it's more of the same. If you like the game on Switch, you're gonna like it on PC. But the defining like difference for me is just the performance on a PC. Playing the game at a high refresh rate is like a totally different experience. You're no longer playing it locked to 30 FPS. You're playing at 120, and everything just feels
Yes.
like butter. It's so good.
That sounds very, very good.
Yeah.
That's one of my problems. Another one of my problems with Pokemon Legends is it is not 60 frames, which would help me with that game so much. But
Right.
nope.
Right.
But I'm glad they got it for Monster Hunter. Well, at least on PC, right?
Right.
God damn. Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, when I didn't play for very long, but that was the closest I ever got to, like, I kind of understand the game now, whereas I didn't before, and that's because I went to Sword and Shield and like, all right, here's a class where I can just do the thing that I want to do, rather than wait, which then helped me transition to the longsword.
Right.
And that has some build up, but like now I'm more familiar with it. I'm comfortable with it. I've been watching and playing some Monster Hunter, so I see what's going on here. So yeah, that's awesome. So you're gonna be playing more with her later.
Yeah, I'll probably be playing more of that today, and then once we finish, because I don't know that you ever finish
Right.
a game like that, right? We'll wait for the expansion to come out and play more of that. The one complaint I have about the game is the particle effects. So like and I'll use Final Fantasy 14 to describe it. If you have everybody's particle effects on in Final Fantasy 14 and you're in like an alliance raid, which is the 24-person raid,
Yeah.
you don't know what's going on. There's so much shit just flying all over the place. You can't see the indicators for the boss attacks. You can't see what you're doing. You can't see where you're standing. There's just so much shit flying at you from every direction. And Monster Hunter has that same problem, but because there's only 4 people, they give everybody a ton of particle effects. So there's just shit coming from everywhere, and you're like, I don't know where I'm standing. I don't know if I'm hitting the boss. I can't see my damage numbers. I don't know what's going on.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad Monster Hunter Rise is on PC. People are gonna enjoy that game.
Final Fantasy has Quinn so hard. If it weren't for that, he'd probably be playing it.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. He's doing cosplay pics now, like
just
that Audrey Hepburn. Like,
Oh my God.
he's too deep. It reminds me. So in high school, That man quit track because Burning Crusade came out.
Right.
That is. I don't know if that's dedication or misplaced priorities.
Yeah.
Or sad.
Or probably some combination.
It's the answer is all three.
Oh, jeez.
I get it. My RA quit going to classes so he could level a Blood Elf Paladin when Burning Crusade came out. So I get it.
Yeah, no, like dude, like yeah, Wrath of the Lich King when it came out, like when every expansion comes out, like I go hard, but I don't like fuck up my priorities.
Right.
So yeah, yeah, no, that's and to be fair, I'm really enjoying it. I had a little bit of fun doing dress up with my dude recently. He's all suited up, so yeah. Anyway, we're gonna dive back, going further down the what we've been playing list. I gave you Monster Hunter because it was kind of a short thing to talk about now. But I played the other big new release this weekend. Not nearly as big as Pokemon, though. Dear God. Which is the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection.
How has that been?
Yo, bro, did you play Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy?
Sure did.
Do you want to play that but prettier?
Yeah, you know what? I think I could do that.
Yeah, okay, then you'll probably like this, especially because do you own those games?
Yes.
Then for you it's only $10. $10
Wow.
great.
Sick. I love that.
I kind of hate it because someone else does it for free, but
Right, that is true.
but like $10 isn't bad, and so it looks better. It does look better. They did a really good job. It looks very clean, very up to date. Especially the 4K 30. Like, dude, like that looks like a modern video game almost. Like modern, not just like not 6 years ago modern. Like it looks great. As for there's 3 modes, 34 true 4K at 30, 1440p at 60, and 1080p at 120. Personally, I don't find a lot of value from the 120 mode just because like Uncharted shooting has never been like the reason you come to play these, at least in my opinion. So like getting that extra frame rate boost to me was just kind of like, that's kind of nice, I guess. And then the 60 1440p is obviously the most balanced, and it's really good. I think that's what most people end up playing on. I've been doing 4K 30 though because this is like a franchise that to me just feels good at 30 FPS. Like it's fine. Like it's a fine game at 30 FPS. Just because they try to go for that cinematic feel. Like in fact, because the cutscenes are in engine, to me they actually look too smooth at 60 FPS. Like they look weird. I'm just like, oh yeah, you were obviously not intending to have this game ever run at this frame rate, were you?
Right.
So there's that. As for should you purchase this,
I mean, for $10,
like,
why not?
yeah, like if you have, so you only need one of the 2 games to get the $10 upgrade. So if you have Lost Legacy or you have Uncharted 4, it's like $10 for the upgrade. And if you, so I mean, even if you go track down a used copy of those, you can get the $10 digital upgrade. The real issue is, let's say you didn't own those games and you can't find a used copy for whatever reason, then you're going to be paying $50 for the whole package. It's kind of high.
Yeah.
So that said, especially for games that are like, I believe 5 and 6 years old respectively each, and like I don't like you can get a copy of Uncharted 4 super cheap, and I think the graphical upgrade is nice, like it's really nice. I also like don't sit here and go like, oh man, you have to replay Uncharted, like if you've played these. Honestly, the big benefit is for people who've never played them because they're both awesome. They're two of the best PS4 games. They're 4K now and they look beautiful, but they're still very much those games. So, and
All
like
right.
yeah, so, and they don't have the multiplayer. That's still a separate client thing that you can play for
Okay.
free. So I mean, yeah, but they didn't get that. That didn't get the upgrade either. So like, if you're one of the, I'm planning to play Mario Kart Party today. That's my jam, says Rebutka.
What up, Rebecca? How you
And
doing?
my seedless blackberry jelly jam.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good taste. Good taste.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like it definitely don't pay the $50 for it. That's my first thing. Like, go track down one of those other games used for, super cheap, and then get the upgrade. That's what I would say first off, and then yeah, it's fine. Like, that's the best way to describe it. And if you've never played them, absolutely get on it. Oh, and I did forget one thing. They do have it does have DualSense features like feedback. I really like it for like punches and vaults and vehicles. I hate it for triggers. I hate it in every game for triggers. It just makes like it feels shooting hard. So take that how you will.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna finish them both. I like those games a lot. So yeah, that was that. That was the other big release this particular weekend. And then I got back to last week's big release, which was Nobody Saves the World.
Right. Yes.
And
How are you liking that?
I hit a wall.
Oh.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is the fact that in that game, the first 5, 6, 7 hours, you're just progressing. It's constant progress. And then I get to the second like main town area place thing, and it throws up 3 barriers that I'm not understanding how to progress other than grinding. So you unlock specific forms, like the concept is the game. You're playing nobody, this guy who has no powers, and you get a wand that changes you into different forms. And the more you level those forms up, you unlock new forms. So, for example, if you keep ranking up the knight, you'll unlock the magician, and then if you get the magician to a certain rank of magician, you unlock the next thing. So on and so forth. And I've encountered a point where the only ways I can progress is if I get enough progress to unlock the rogue, which involves grinding the slug, or I can grind or unlock the mutant, which involves another grind. So you're like, okay, well, how do you level up these characters and get them out there and get them progressed? Well, you click on that, so you get that character. So let's say the slug, because I want to unlock the rogue. You unlock you do the slug, and the slug. Every character has their own quests when you change them, and it's like kill 50 dudes with your basic slash attack, slow 50 dudes, and then kill them with an attack, so on and so forth. It's like a an MMO checklist quest type thing. And that's how you level them up. And it's just a lot of grind, like, to get them where you need to be to unlock those other classes. And except for the dragon, which is like the end game one. That one is like a secret type thing where you have to find all these special egg spots. So my big problem, at least, has been the fact that it's just like, now I'm at this point where I need a rogue or a mutant at minimum to progress where I want to progress, or get up to level 25, which is like 15 levels. So no matter what, I am like stuck grinding, either grinding to unlock the mutant, grinding to unlock the rogue, or grinding up to level 25 to do this maze thing. At least I've discovered so far. This is very Zelda-like, where you have a map to discover and whatnot. So I feel like I'm just stuck without having to grind. And while the combat is fun, it's not like a Diablo or like, a Lost Ark or something like that, where you're like, oh, this ARG combat is like ARPG combat is like super good, and I want to do it because it's just fun. It's like so. I'm kind of in a weird place with that, which is a bummer because all the different characters are fun and have unique abilities and all move differently, and I like seeing progress bars go up.
Yeah, no, that's fun. Seeing the numbers go up.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know how to feel about it at this point. Like, I'm probably gonna give it another go this week while I'm off, and then I don't know where I'm gonna go from there.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a Game Pass game, so, and who knows, you might be more willing to grind than I did, or I am, and the game is still fucking hilarious. So there's this like side quest where you run into a horse, and this horse just like it doesn't have any interest in you, and eventually you unlock the ability to turn into a horse, and you go talk to that horse, and the side quest is to fall in love. And it has this whole like dialogue scene about these two horses falling in love, and then you finish the side quest, and it's like, all right, cool.
Horse romance.
Yeah,
Just love the horse. Okay,
yep.
Let's do it.
You get an achievement for doing that one too.
Illegal in
Very
a lot
good.
of states, but all right.
Horse on horse action is always legal.
Please, come on now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm hoping that grinding kind of. I hope you're able to push through it.
Because
it sounds like if people are able to push through it, it's a good game.
Yes. And to be fair, like, if I wasn't the type of person who got so stuck on like one class at a time, like,
Sure.
I probably would not have been in this nightmare scenario.
Okay.
Like, the game very much encourages you to constantly be switching. So
I see. Okay.
yeah,
Well,
so like my knight is like super beefed up above all my other classes. So
okay.
anyway, that was Nobody Saves the World. And then I also dug deep on YuGiOh Master Duel.
I bet you did.
Dude, I played so much YuGiOh this week.
How you feeling? How you doing?
Like, I will never forgive the Japanese. Here's why. So I'm playing matches, I'm having a good time, I'm losing a fair bit because I'm just like so behind. I just keep running to these decks that just seem ridiculous. And then every time you see a Japanese name as the person you're playing, just quit. Just give up. It's gonna be an OTK. Like,
Sounds familiar.
like, what game for you was this?
Any fighting game.
That depends. Like, in Dragon Ball Fighters and Street Fighter, I can hang, but like in the Guilty Gear, no way. But like in this, like, you just see a Japanese name and you're just like, and like turn one, he has like 3,000 attack monsters out on the field with like effects that negate everything you do, and you're just like, I see. Like,
Guess I need to learn how to play this game.
yeah, like L2P scrub. I just think they should add Hearthstone style buttons to press while they're doing their 10-minute turn where they get 5 monsters.
Yeah. Something to do.
Yeah, like, oh my god, it's so brutal sometimes, some of the matchups.
Yeah.
When was the last time you played Yu-Gi-Oh before this?
Like, seriously?
Well, like at all. Like, when was the last time you really played a Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, either a card, like physical cards, or a video game?
Like 2011?
How are you doing with like all the new mechanics, all the new card mechanics?
Because it's a video game, they're fairly quick and easy to learn, because the game like punishes you if you try and do them wrong.
Right.
Like, it's like, you can't do that. Like I was completely misunderstanding this card fusion substitute. I'm like, why can I never play this? And then I noticed it doesn't include what polymerization always had, which is you can fuse from your hand. It's like, no, they have to be on the field. So yeah, it's I understand tuners and synchros now. I still don't understand the changes to rituals. Like, there's still a lot to learn, but like, one, the game has plenty of mechanics to go in and for you to go learn that stuff, and two, there still is stuff in the meta that is solid. So yeah. That said, you could out of the starter decks, and if you buy cards with in-game currency or real currency that are around whatever starter deck you chose, you can at least get competitive. Like, I'm like gold 4, for perspective, and I've unlocked quite a few achievements. And like, I'm running a Blue Eyes deck, which is outdated as hell, and I don't even know if it's a good Blue Eyes deck either. Like, I was just like, Maiden with Eyes of Blue, that's still a good card, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. No, I saw this dude bring out Chaos Max Blue Eyes or something like that, and it says 4,000 attack and does double piercing damage, and I'm like, this is the like ultimate one-turn kill monster.
Yep.
What the fuck? So yeah, like I think you can get into it. Like, I think a new player could totally get into it and have a good time, especially if at first they stick to the solo stuff. But like, if you go online and you're like at least not aware of the modern meta and how stuff works, you're probably gonna get bodied until you have your rank more settled. So yeah, and until things settle down with ranking too, because everyone's going up and down the leaderboards like crazy because it's brand new. Right. Like, I ran into a Toon deck that I completely destroyed like yesterday, and he was in like gold 4, and I was like, why is this person in gold? What? Okay. But then like, I just get completely annihilated by this dude in one turn. I'm like, why are you in gold 5? I know.
Right.
So yeah. I've by playing daily, and now that I've gotten like past the early game gains, as I'll call it, card distribution seems fair. Like, you get enough for about 4 or 5 packs a day if you're playing daily, like I am. That said, you also, with those 5 packs a day ish, you also like, once again, have to buy at least one regular booster to unlock secret boosters, and hope that the secret boosters give you the deck you're trying to build. Mm-hmm. So, like, for example, I'm thinking about building a Dark Magician deck soon. And which means I'm going to have to buy one of the regular packs, and then I have a 24-hour period to buy as many of the Dark Magician packs as I possibly can.
Okay.
And then before it goes away, and I have to re-unlock secret packs. Same thing, same concept. Structure decks are also in the game. You can pick up structure decks for the cost of 5 packs, and they're like good groundwork for whatever it is you want to do, but you definitely want to add on to them for sure.
Right.
Like the one I started with the one that's built around Blue Eyes, and I completely, like, after I unlocked a bunch of cards, I completely ripped it apart. So
okay.
Yeah, like, the progression system seems fair enough to where you'd want to spend money on it. It uses real card game rules and cards. You can get somewhat competitive fairly early, and if you're the type who wants to blow real money on it, like, I saw a dude on Twitch blow $500 on cards and build the exact deck he wanted. Well, yeah, because if you get over 3 copies of a card, you can do the Hearthstone thing where you press a button and turn it into crafting points and just craft the stuff you want. And it goes by rarity. So if you want an ultra rare, you need to disassemble 3 ultra rares.
Okay.
So like, let's say you want to build, a alternative Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is a staple of my deck. I only had 2. I needed 1 more. It's an ultra rare. I had to disassemble 3 ultra rares I didn't need, which thankfully I had a bunch of. So, yeah, for the free to play economy, like you can even use the free to play currency to buy their equivalent of the battle pass.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I'm considering it's Konami, I'm actually impressed on the fact that I have not had to throw any money at this.
Yeah.
And
Incredible, actually.
and people who are gonna throw money at it, are always gonna have an advantage, like any card game. Like that's just the way TCGs are built. Sorry to tell everyone, but you're not at an entirely screwed advantage. If you're, especially if early on you invest your gems in the right stuff, like what archetype you're going for and what you want to build, because then you can start disassembling and crafting stuff correctly. So yeah, dude, if you're interested in Yu-Gi-Oh, or you are like me and have become jaded and tired of Hearthstone, then this is a good game to move over to for now. And it's on Xbox, PC, Switch, PlayStation. I'm not sure if it's on phone, which I do think.
Do you think it could easily be?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. I have no doubt in my mind that this, which I'll check to see if it is right now. And no, just Duel Links. That's a bummer. Yeah, so unfortunately it's just Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which is this weird card game with custom rule set.
Okay.
So, now that is all squared away with Yu-Gi-Oh! I recommend it. It's free to play, dude. Just get it on whatever platform you play it most on. I imagine PC for controls or Switch for portability.
Right.
All right. So yeah, we checked that one off. Hey, Jesse, what is Vampire Saviors?
So it's not a fighting game. It's gotten really popular on Twitch this last week, and it just blew up out of nowhere.
Isn't that Darkstalkers?
Yeah, Darkstalkers Vampire Savior.
Okay, the Japanese name. Yeah. Got it. All right, yeah. Got it.
So it's a roguelite. Came out in the middle of December. It's $3. Looks super shitty. A friend of mine has been playing it and streaming it in Discord, and I was watching it and I was like, this looks so stupid. This looks like a real dumb game. You're thrown onto a field and you have this little 16-bit character, and you're just killing hordes and hordes of enemies. The draw is that the character you're making or building toward is a bullet hell generator, and you're just trying to kill hordes of enemies. So you pick up different weapons, and you pick up different things that can evolve your weapons and equipment and stuff. And the only controls for the game are moving your character around. You don't shoot, you don't activate anything. You're just moving your character around on this gigantic, never-ending, procedurally generated 16-bit map. Just killing hordes of enemies. It's super simple. It looks really bad, but it is just a ton of fun. As soon as I picked it up last weekend, and I was like, it's $3, whatever. If it's really bad, I'll just refund it if I need to.
Yep.
But this week I've gotten every achievement in that game.
Damn.
I have gotten every character. There's 2 secret characters in the game that aren't tied to achievements. I've gotten those. They're really difficult to get. The point of the game is to survive for 30 minutes, and then death shows up and kills you. If you kill death, you get another secret character. It's
okay.
Every run starts the same, but after the runs, you can purchase new characters, or you can purchase minor upgrades to your character, and you can pick up different weapons that have different abilities. There's a knife that your character just shoots straight forward. There's an axe. It's got a lot of it's pulled a lot of inspiration from the old Castlevania games. So there's an axe that has like a curved arc that you throw. It's got a weapon that produces an AoE around you. It's got holy water that gets thrown onto the screen in a circle around you. Um, 8 or 9, I think, different weapons. And the combination of weapons and equipment is going to determine whether or not your run succeeds. But it's very addicting in a way that I didn't think it would be. If you want just a simple serotonin generator, or dopamine generator, this is the game.
Okay.
It's only $3. It's only $3. So like at the end of the day, you spent $3 on it. But it was surprisingly fun. If you watch a Twitch stream for it, it's gonna look really boring, because the runs always start slow. Your character moves very slowly. Your weapon doesn't do a whole lot, but as you upgrade your weapon on your run or upgrade your character stats on your run, it gets way more and more fun and active, and you have to like strategize what you're gonna do. Characters start coming at you very slowly, but by like minute 25, your screen is just full of crap that you have to avoid and kill.
Okay.
Wow. All right, for $3.
Right.
Can't go wrong with that. I think I got everything in that game in like 15 hours, so $3 for 15 hours of game time is pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Right. No.
Dang. Okay. Fantastic.
All right. Okay, so that brings us over to hey Aaron, Dark Souls
yeah.
3, explain.
Yeah, I'm very excited to hear about this. This came out of nowhere.
Yeah. This was blinking gift for me.
Fans of the show might remember I'm not a fan of Souls games.
Not at all.
Not a fan in the slightest bit. However, I have this sickness. I'm unwell. There is no medication for it, as far as I know, where I find there is something appealing about the Souls games when I am outside of them. When I am looking at them, I think this just looks cool. I like the ideas around it. I wish I could play them and enjoy them. Which leads to spending $60 after $60 after $60 each time these games come out, and within the first couple hours being like, oh, I hate this. Oh my god, I've done it again. How does this keep happening?
So did it happen again with Dark Souls?
So I had already purchased. I purchased Demon Souls when that first came out, and we covered it on Gamecast.
Okay.
And then realized didn't like it, it wasn't for me. I knew for a fact it wasn't for me, and I was not going to get through any of it. But I also recognized it was good. Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3. I have bought all of them at some point in the last few years.
Bloodborne.
And I got Bloodborne for a birthday or Christmas. I
Did
forget which.
Did you also get Sekiro?
I did not get Sekiro. And that's due to like the setting of the Souls games and Bloodborne. There's something like real dark and cool about them, whereas Sekiro's more Japanese. And I don't know, the setting didn't appeal as much to me as the weird dark stuff.
Fair. The medieval fantasy stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So Elden Ring is coming out.
It is.
It is. You might have seen from the Fantasy Critic, one of the most hyped games of the year, if not the most hyped game of the year. And the thing about the Souls games is that they come with a conversation that gets louder and meaner as time goes on, which is, hey, is there a way we can have like a different mode for people who can't play this the way it is intended but want to see all the stuff for themselves? And sometimes that comes in the form of an easy mode. That's kind of what they're saying is an easy mode. And It's always a fight, and I can't stop myself. I click through these conversations and I look through numerous threads to see what people are saying. And it has gotten to a point where the developers, I don't know if they addressed it with Sekiro, but for the whole development process of Elden Ring, this has been a question that interviewers have been giving to name of the guy who does the Souls games. I do not recall his name at this moment, but
Miyazaki, is that what it is?
Miyazaki, is that it?
I think that might be it.
Yeah. And they've been good about it. They've been good about addressing it, but like the answer for a long time has been, this is how we intend the game to be played. This is what it's about. Like, no, we're not going to do that. And what's happened with Elden Ring's design is they, in recent interviews, because the game's about to come out, so they've been having some more recent interviews, and what they've been saying is, we are retooling this in such a way that we are keeping the difficulty because that's what the game's about, but they wouldn't like saying the word difficult. I don't think that's what they're intending, is just pure difficulty for difficulty's sake. They like to use different terminology. But we are going to try and cut down on the nonsense in between, the stuff that makes it grating to die and have to go again.
Like what? Like what did they specify?
They specified when you die and you have to go back to like a bonfire and make your way through all of these enemies through that path all over again to get to that boss that you died to.
That's what that game is.
Well, Elden Ring, they are trying to cut down on that.
Also, they did that in Bloodborne. It was like, okay, so almost every Souls game does this, where you actually don't have to refight all that crap to get back to that boss in most cases. Because most places, especially Bloodborne, my favorite one, typically have a shortcut to that boss. Like in Bloodborne, the first boss, if you bother to go all the way around and up through this library section, it literally is a bonfire or not a bonfire, a lantern that is like, go through this building and you're right at the bridge where the boss is. And then you just juke the two werewolves.
I wonder if they're refining that system they had in Dark Souls 2, I think, where if you kill the enemies enough times, they don't respawn.
Ooh.
I wonder if that's what they mean by that. They've refined like that system.
I don't know.
Which everyone hated that, so cool.
I was gonna say that didn't. I don't think that's going to happen. I would think that would be weird, right?
Right. No.
Yes, it was. It was weird.
Yeah. So there's that, and then they've also talked about how they're new items to kind of alter your gameplay to something that better suits what you're looking for.
But that's also been in all these games.
I know, but they're expanding on it. It's more emphasis.
It just sounds like this guy is trying to describe his current game that he's already been making just so more people could pick it up and understand it. Like, it's like we already have that.
Again, I think they're just working harder on those aspects. I think that's what they're doing. So anyway, I'm seeing all these titles to these interviews and stories. I'm like, I'm not doing this. You're not getting another $60 out of me. We're not doing this. And then what happened was
3 months
Saturday.
later.
Yeah, exactly. So Saturday, one more comes out, and instead of a headline, it is an excerpt of them saying all this stuff again. And I've been playing Arceus for a number of hours before, and I've already explained how I felt about Arceus up to this point, and it's like, I'm taking a break from that. And it's like, do I want to go back into that? Dark Souls 3 is installed on my computer. I hit a big fat wall, and I went into that same thing of like, God damn it, I don't get this at all, and put it down months ago. But let me fire it up again and see.
Did it click? Did it click, Aaron?
I don't know yet. It's a very weird middle spot that I'm in right now, because what happened was I had spent a couple hours wandering around this portion of that first like castle area, and I ended up like going around in circles a couple times. Like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? And eventually, I was able to figure it out. There are a lot of enemies on that path that just kick my ass. I cannot get through these guys. And what's been awesome is the discovery that I can just run past a lot of them.
Yeah, that's gonna be a gift later.
Yeah, I know.
Because you're gonna be under-leveled and shit is just gonna fuck you up.
That's fine. You want to know why?
Wow.
Because if the game hooks me before then it doesn't matter.
Fair.
And by progressing some in this game, it creates that opportunity.
So
that is my theory anyway.
What class did you pick in Dark Souls 3? Because there's a class.
I was advised Pyromancer.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
That's a good one.
Which is why I selected Pyromancer, and so yeah, we're going through with that for right now. And I went to the castle. Woman's sitting in the throne room and says, "Here, take this banner. Hold it up." Like, okay, sure. And I go down, and there is Vort. On that wall.
The second boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want the strategy for him?
I beat him.
Oh, good! Holy shit!
Which I was not expecting. I was not expecting at all. I just went in there. So I went in there the first time, and I'm like, the first boss like pissed me off. I eventually beat it, but it pissed me off. When it like turns into like that darkness snake, I'm like, this is some fucking bullshit. Whatever, we'll get through this.
I thought the first boss of that game was super easy. Like,
no, I got wrecked multiple times. He just attacking all of the time and just swinging this giant snake everywhere. Like, cool. I also like said I picked Pyromancy because they were like, yeah, you can just throw fire bombs, and I did, and I must have been hitting the wrong spots because it wasn't doing anything. I hack and slashed it to death. And then I go to Vort, and I'm like watching it and like I just kind of roll through what I assume will be attacks and just start hitting it. And like I got to that second phase pretty quickly, like within the first couple lives. Like I can probably do this. And yeah, sure enough, I was complaining to a friend. I wasn't complaining. I was lamenting to a friend, like, man, I just died again. But I'm gonna get through this. And he says, "Can I watch?" And I'm like, yeah. And about halfway through this run, I'm doing all right. And he goes, "Do you not know how to lock on?"
Oh my god, Aaron.
And I had to play, so I couldn't respond. So I'm like swinging. And then I defeat him. And he's dead. And then I go to my keyboard and I go, nope. And so I defeated Vort with no lock on.
So Vort is really easy because his whole secret is to get behind him and wail on him.
My strategy that worked was roll towards his crotch.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You
because as he attacks forward, I end up behind him.
Yep, because you get them iframes, boy.
Yeah. Yeah, there was that was a fight, and then I held up the banner, and it took me to the next area. And I was like, huh. And I don't know how I feel yet.
It took him forever, but he is getting it.
I don't know if I'm getting it though. That's the thing. I got through it, and I feel it's not neutral, but just like I guess this isn't the end of this investigation.
See, whenever I beat a boss in those games, because most of them, besides like that first one, are like hard as hell. And I'm just like, suck my dick.
A dopamine release as soon as you kill a boss. It's just like, oh god, finally.
See, and that's the thing. Bronson and I've had this talk previously on stream. Is that I don't get that same rush when I defeat something really difficult. Oftentimes, I just feel relief that it's over. which is not a good feeling to have to go try and attempt to go through Souls games.
Right.
Which is why I'm very cautious about like saying like I'm gonna get through this or I'm gonna play through all of Dark Souls 3, because I will probably, once I hit an actual hard boss, I don't know if I'm gonna come back. But I've been throwing around a streaming idea. The streaming idea. I mean, the idea is I'm going to be playing Souls games until and a little after Elden Ring releases, because one of two things can happen from doing this. One, it clicks. I all of a sudden have a bunch of games I can enjoy, and then I can enjoy Elden Ring, and all this money that was previously wasted is now worth it. Two, I hate the entire experience, and I'm playing these games as Elden Ring comes out, and it's like, hey, here's this game. I don't care. I don't care because I have fresh in my mind. I don't like these. Nope. So,
if you're gonna do this for Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne, let Ray and I co-pilot with you. Especially Bloodborne.
I don't want to be coached. I'd be down to have like a lifeline.
Okay, yeah, no. Well, we won't coach you, but we'll be a lifeline, and just like Ray and I could be just like the fucking Muppets in the balcony. Yeah.
In the peanut gallery.
Yeah. Just like, how do you think he's gonna handle this? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I really want to see Aaron play Sekiro.
I don't like Sekiro. It's the only one I don't like.
It's so different from the rest of the games. I mean, Bloodborne is different enough from the Dark Souls games because Bloodborne rewards aggression, dodging toward enemies, attacking enemies right after you get attacked, parrying, and then you get into Sekiro, and it's a rhythm game. It's not even like it's not in the same realm as the other games. So I'd be really interested to see your
I hear it's the hardest one.
I disliked it so much. I beat the first boss and I was like, fuck this game. It's the only one of those. Like, I like Dark Souls 1. I somewhat like Dark Souls 2. I love Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne. Sekiro was the only one where I just bounced off it and I was like, I'm good. Okay. So, but yeah, if you do Bloodborne, like, especially Ray will be so excited to tag along on that. It's like his favorite game ever.
I've heard it's huge for him. So,
yeah, so
that's a thought I'm having that may start happening real soon here.
All right, well, let us know. I'm curious. At minimum, I'm excited for progress.
Progress or just me, raging.
Yeah.
Either one's entertaining.
Either one's entertaining.
So this one's a bit dated, but what's up with Splitgate, Jesse?
Season 1 just came out.
Oh shit, nice. The game's actually out now.
Well,
cool.
It's still in beta.
Oh fuck.
Yep.
Never mind.
Season 1
beta.
Yeah.
Beta 1.0.
And I really thought that like when Halo Infinite came out that Splitgate would be dead. That I would be fighting bots all the time, but there's actually a surprising number of people that are still playing the game. I'm still not going against the same group of people. And it's pretty rare that I see somebody once and then see them again later in the same night. It's a good game though. It's Halo with portals.
I mean, yeah.
So if that sounds appealing to you, then it's great.
Go
ahead.
I love all the wacky shit you get into in that game.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. My fiance enjoys portal camping. So she'll put a portal at the center point of the arena and then another portal at one end of the arena and stand there and shoot people through the portal as they're running through the middle of the arena.
My favorite thing is shooting a portal behind someone and then one on the ground. You just pop up behind them and hit them in the back.
Yep, absolutely. It's a lot of fun. Season 1 just came out. They redid the artwork on a lot of the maps. They introduced new maps, new game types. New battle pass. It's been a joy to play.
Still free.
Still free.
Still not a whole ton of content.
That is correct.
All right, cool.
All right, good.
I've been corrected. My fiance is not a portal camper, but that's not true.
I liked that game a lot when it came out, or like when it hit early access. Like I had a great time with it. I was very, I very much loved the idea that they just leaned into it's Halo with portals. It's what it is. That said, I also have actual Halo to play right now. So
That's true.
yeah. All right. Well, cool. That's Splitgate. All right. So time for the MMO talk. I did WoW Classic this week, and I actually had a really fun, cool experience that I want to talk about. That is part of why I love MMORPGs. I talked about it last night on the stream, I wanted to do Gruul's Lair. Because it drops the shield that I still want on my warrior, and I see a group that's looking for Gruul's Lair, and I'm like, great, sign me up, and they're like, you defense capped. I'm like, yes. They let you look over my gear, great. I go into the raid, and I'm like, hey, what's the Discord? What's the loot roost? They link me the loot reservation list, because the way the loot system works in this group is you can reserve a piece, and if it drops, you get it. And if someone else also reserved it, then you roll for it. And I was the only one who reserved the shield, so even better.
Yeah, all right.
So I get into this group, and I do my loot reserve, and I'm like, Discord, ? Because sometimes a group wants a Discord, sometimes for strategy, sometimes they don't. Especially in, like, the first raid tier, when we're on the third. And what'll happen is I go into the Discord, and everyone is speaking Spanish.
All right.
And I'm like, shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the tank, so I need to be communicated to about what my job is, especially in the first boss of Gruul's Lair, because every tank has a different assignment. So I post in chat, I don't speak Spanish. Can anyone translate? And then someone says, hold on, Google Translate.
Oh, man. Okay.
And they go on Google Translate, and they're like, you take square. And I'm like, and I respond to them, isn't that taken by a warlock? And he just, pauses. And he's like, you take skull. And I'm like, okay.
This is a good start.
Yeah, and me and the one other dude who speaks English think this is fucking hilarious. We wipe the first attempt, we nail it the second attempt, and this is only a 2-boss raid, so we do the second boss, nail it first try, my shield drops, and they give it to me and say thank you, and then I leave. But it was just super cool that I didn't speak the language of anyone. They invited me, had me tank for them, and gave me the loot that I earned. It was
Nice.
just this was a really cool community thing, and why I like MMOs so much.
That's cool. Good.
It was a neat little thing, and it makes sense because I'm on one of WoW Classic's mega servers, where a huge chunk of the population is. So yeah, I also did Trials of Osiris, and I got big mad. Shocking. I still have to get 2 more wins for the week too.
Every time you mention Trial of Osiris, you mention how mad it makes you, and I'm just like, why?
Because it drops
Why?
ridiculously good loot. That SMG is insane. That sniper rifle is insane.
Yeah.
So yeah. And also, I'm so close to capping the rep so I can make a masterwork gear that I'm like, fuck it, I'm committed now.
Right.
So yeah.
God.
Last is FF14. Anyone got anything for it?
Nope.
Nope.
Finally cleared Pandemonium 1 Savage.
Yeah.
It is it's not a hard fight.
Mhm.
There are a lot of mechanics. And in WoW terms, coming from WoW has been a difficult transition in raids, particularly.
Really? Because it seems like it would be easier with the exception of the fact that you go off the bar, not the animation.
Well, that part is easy, but there are a lot of mechanics in the way the raids are structured. from what I've seen at least, is you watch the boss do one mechanic, you watch a boss do a second mechanic. Here's a mechanic with both of those things together.
Okay.
Okay, here's a new mechanic. Here's another new mechanic. Here's a thing with both of those things together. Here's a thing with all four together. And the fights escalate in that regard. You see one mechanic, you see a new mechanic, and then you see those two mechanics interact.
So that doesn't seem that different from heroic rating in WoW.
Right. And it's I guess it isn't. I guess it's more equivalent to like mythic rating.
Really?
Because everybody there is so much personal accountability in a raid in Final Fantasy. If one person dies and they get rezzed, that's fine. But then they have that 25% damage reduction that they're doing for a minute, which is a huge deal.
Yeah, that's a lot of time in one of these fights.
If you stand in a mechanic, you either get a vulnerability stack or a damage down stack, which is another huge deal, because if you get too many vulnerability stacks, you get one shot by any mechanic in the raid or any raid-wide damage in the raid. If you get damage down, you're probably going to end up hitting Enrage on the boss.
This is the mechanic I always hate in WoW fights, but apply, which is like one person fucked up, the raid's wiped. So I'm glad I get to hear this now. I get to look forward to it. Awesome.
Yeah, if one person fucks up, it's kind of tough to recover. Like, you still can. We had.
But to be fair, aren't these raids?
Right.
To be fair, aren't these raids only 8 people?
Yes.
Okay, then you're fine. Okay, it's like WoW 10-mans back in the day. Got it. All right.
Yeah. And everybody needs to be doing damage. So that's another like difference from WoW. One of our healers isn't used to that concept. They're still focused on healing. But they also need to be doing damage, and the tanks also need to be doing damage. And if not everybody is doing damage, you're going to hit those
walls. Yeah.
Yeah. And the raids are balanced around the tanks and the healers doing half the amount of damage as a DPS.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Like, because in WoW, because you have 25 people, or if in Mythic 20 people, it's very much like, with the exception of a couple of fights, a couple people can fuck up and you can still do fine.
Right.
Versus like, which is why when you get to fights like Mythic Sylvanas, where if one person fucks up, you all die, have always been really fucking annoying. I'm pretty sure that I have some level of PTSD from Defile on the Lich King. You know?
Oh god, yeah.
Just
absolutely.
Spread. You have it. Spread. Nope. Full platform. Everyone's dead. So yeah. So that's interesting. I'm curious to how I'm going to be when I get there. Grats on the clear though. Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm going to be honest with you. This is our third night on the fight, or fourth night on the fight. But either way, even though we've wiped for 4 nights straight, it has been the most fun I've had raiding since Wrath raids.
Wrath? Wow.
Since ICC raids, yeah. Like,
wow, okay.
This is the most fun I've had, even though we're just like throwing ourselves at a brick wall.
Yeah.
For a while, it is just an absolute blast to play.
That's great.
I hope I have that same experience, because the only taste of raiding I've got is Extreme from A Realm Reborn stuff. And it was like fairly simplistic. But it was A Realm Reborn also. And then like I did one Extreme for Heaven's Ward, and it was also like, it wasn't like crazy complicated. It was fine. Granted, Black Mage is pretty easy to play as a whole, because it's, you do the big fire thing until you're out, and then you do your dot and the big ice thing. At least at that point. Like, now that I'm in Stormblood, I'm starting to see, like, you interweave a little more because you have mana recovery and you have this dot to manage, and you have insta-cast abilities now to help fill out, like, yeah. So, Yeah, all right, that's cool, man. I like talking to you about this, and anyone who is a convert as myself, or actually, like, I'm not even like a convert. Like, I'm just I'm just rotating 3 MMOs right now.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, like, so that way I don't have a social life.
Yep.
Uh,
Who wants that?
yeah, nah, fuck people. I'm gonna play this game that exclusively involves me contacting with people.
Yeah,
So,
Give me the internet people.
Yeah.
Those are the people I understand.
yeah, not these real people. All right, guys. I think that's it. All
I
right.
think that's it.
All right. Well, thank everybody. Hey, this show's on YouTube. Follow it there. Watch it there. It's also on Spotify, Apple, Amazon. Go there. Watch it there. Follow us there. Say nice things about us so we go up the list, please.
Yeah.
That would be great. And yeah, we'll see you Saturday for Destiny. Maybe Thursday for Sea of Thieves. I still need to communicate with some people. And next Sunday for this lovely show. All right. And bye, guys. And
See you guys later.
Bye-bye. You have a great day.
See ya.